hold down a button and your shoulder will be off your seat like this. That's fun and son, watch TV 21 and a pass and kick you'll never miss. It's 4,000 inches and the fans are off the benches and it starts with a little kick. Coach told me to
pass this way, block this way, kick this way, tackle this way.
Coach told me to
hit this way, catch this way, run this way, sack this way.
It is week 5 of the high school football season. Time for region play to begin, and what better place to start things off than Memorial Stadium for a 4A clash between South Florence and Socastee. Good evening, everyone, and thanks once again for joining us. I'm Terry Gurn, as always, next to Lane Harris for Game of the Week. And what a game we have for you here. When you talk about this matchup, South Florence and Socastee, Lane, only one word comes to mind.
And that's revenge.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, the best high school football game I have ever had a chance to take part in. Socastee hadn't forgot about it, and they're going to try to come back. And you're going to see two offenses tonight, folks, mirror images of each other. One back sets, 4 receivers, lots of passing. We could, again, see a lot of points on the board tonight, too.
We're talking 35 second-half points by the man who conducted it, Justin Watts. He's back again for his senior season, and he hasn't missed a beat so far.
No, he hasn't. Leading the state in passing, one of the leading rushers in the state. Socastee's job tonight, should they choose to accept it, is to contain Justin Watts, make him a passer, not a passer and a running threat, because when he can pass or run, that's when JW will hurt you.
Socastee is 2-2, South Florence 3-1, and ranked 5th in the coaches poll. It's their homecoming as well, so the Braves will try to spoil the party. The opening kickoff is next. This is a WMB Sports exclusive.
Something happens when you read the Wall Street Journal every business day. You start seeing opportunities where you never saw them before. See for yourself. Subscribe now to the Wall Street Journal. The Journal keeps you right at the heart of what's going on in business. Call now for the Journal and get your free guide to planning your financial future. Facts you need to start planning a secure future right now. Get 10 weeks of the Wall Street Journal for just $38 and get the guide free. Call now toll-free, 800-334-2900. That's 800-334-2900.
This fall, WPDE TV 15, Carolinas Hospital System, and Conway Hospital are working together on a new campaign. It's called Health Digest, and it's coming soon to your mailbox. This book will provide you and your family with valuable health information, as well as certificates for health screenings. Watch for special programming on WPDE TV 15 and watch your mailbox for Health Digest. For your free copy, call Carolinas Hospital System or Conway Hospital.
This is WWMB TV 21, Florence, Myrtle Beach.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Florence for a 4A Region 5 game between South Florence and Socastee. There you see the Socastee Braves coming out with a record of 2-2. A couple of losses sandwiched in between a opening night win and a win last week against Georgetown, 14-0 in Lane. Socastee will have its work cut out for them in trying to not maybe stop, but at least slow down the South Florence offense.
This is a Socastee team that's looking for an identity after 4 hard years of an I formation. Randy Sinclair, the man at Socastee. They bring in a new man. Randy Ford comes over from Sumter, where he spent 10 years as an assistant coach. Brings with him some very able assistants over here, and they've evaluated their personnel this spring, and they've decided they've made the all-out commitment to go with a 1-back set and 4 receivers. Mike Watts has been running that formation with his son Justin at the helm now for the past 3 years, and he's done quite nicely with it. I'm sure Coach Ford would hope to mirror Mike's success.
Josh Green, one of the receivers for South Florence, injured in a car accident a couple weeks ago. He will not be in the lineup tonight, so we're going to see a 2-back set from South Florence, something that we're not used to seeing. So that'll be interesting to check out when South Florence goes on offense. They did it last week against Stratford, and it seemed to work as they won that game 47-14. We'll see how that works out here tonight. Socastee won the toss, and they will receive, moving left to right. And we are underway here in week 5 of the high school football season. A high kick. And it is fielded there by number 20, Brooke Falk for Socastee. He's trying the right side of the field here. Oh, and he is met square on at number 5, John Turner. Little collision there at the 15-yard line, and that's where Socastee will take over.
First down, 10 yards to go for Socastee at their own 15.
Let's check out the Braves starting lineup. Darren Holmes is your quarterback, a 6 foot, 170-pound junior. D's and Smalls are the back. Shane Stanford, Johnson, Charlie Lanier, Johnson, Ward, and Jones up front. Mazik, Green, and Brooke Falk are the receivers.
Socastee goes one back, 4 wide receivers off the top.
Holmes takes his time under center, and he's going to go up top right away. Flares it out there. The ball is caught by Terrell Mazik for a negligible gain, maybe a couple on the play, but not much. Let's check out the Bruin defense. King, Steve Williams, Lee Calcutt, and Damon Sims up front, a big and very active front four. Eric Prescott, Frankie McCallum, the leading tackler, and Chris Chapman are your backers. Defensive backs, Turner, Connor, Brandon Perkins, and Will Floyd.
These guys will get a lot of work tonight.
Oh, yeah. 2nd and 9 now for Socastee. Just outside the 15-yard line. They try it up the middle, and there's nothing doing. A loss of 5 on the play. Just a host of Columbia blue jerseys, and it'll be 3rd and 15 now for Socastee.
Damian Sims coming in from the nose guard position, and Frankie McCollum stuffed this play at the line of scrimmage. There's 85. McCollum right in the middle of things. Socastee tries to run, tries to pass to set up the run, and it didn't work that time.
Great line surge that time by the Bruins. They pushed the offensive line of Socastee back, and here's the first shotgun formation of the night for Darren Holmes on 3rd and 13. Holmes is going to roll out to his right. He's looking for his receiver number 4, overthrows Lucas Green, and Socastee goes 3 and out.
That was a nice play.
It was.
The back picked up the rushing Chapman, 44, and takes him out of the play and allows Holmes to get outside in the corner. The cornerback was giving Green plenty of cushion. He had to get it over top of 86. That's Kyle King dropping off from his defensive end position to get a hand in that play. Made the pass a little difficult to throw, and that was overthrown.
Not a bad route by Green. He was open for a moment there. So Socastee will punt for the first time here. Billy Jones, he's the 9th-rated punter in the state, number 77. So this kid can boot the ball. He averages 41 yards a punt.
That's where, as a receiver, on that, going back to that last play, Terry, if you're running an end pattern, you see a linebacker dropping off in front of you, you've got to continue your route and find the seam so the quarterback can see you. If you just stand, if you say, okay, I got to run a 12-yard curl, you run 12 yards and curl and stand there, the defense can play right into you every time. You've got to break off that route and improvise a little bit, and that's something that the players will learn to do as they get longer and more in depth into this program.
The soft spot.
Exactly.
Still 4th down, 5-yard penalty on South Florence, but Jones still back to punt. Low snap, but he gets it off. A wobbler at the 45. Looks like it's going to roll towards midfield, down by the Braves at their own 48-yard line. So Justin Watts and the Bruins take over. That was a punt of 30 yards as this high-powered Bruin offense comes to the front here, led by 6'1", 188-pound Justin Watts, number 1 in the state. Behind him, Corey Young and Darren Cooper. Up front, a good offensive line. Evan Lawhon, John Williams, Ed Love, Stephen Putnam, Brian Cook. And the receivers are very good. Kalik Young, Johnny Muldrow, and Titus Thomas.
Nick Vitale will see some action there, number 40, also at the wideout. And Socastee goes one back.
They waste no time going to the shotgun. First play of the game, and is nearly picked off that time. Watts just throwing it up for grabs there, and Sean Patterson nearly comes down with a pick. So that's nothing unusual we see from the Bruins, starting 1st and 10 with the shotgun.
You're going to see a little different defensive wrinkle this week from Socastee. They're going to go with the nickel back set. You're going to go with the 4 down linemen's rushing, nickel back set. You're going to see 2 free safeties drop back in zone coverage and try to negate the passing attack of South Florence.
And they're going to hope those 2 free safeties are enough. More times than not, they are not enough. Shotgun formation once again here for Watts. 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line of Socastee. The Braves showing blitz. And here they come. Watts rolling to his left. He's got, nice move by Watts. Gets to the 40. This kid's unbelievable. You know, we talked so much about his passing ability. The ball was down. He was down, fumbled the ball, but this kid is very dangerous when he tucks it in and run. He has just so many aspects.
Watch what happens. See who had outside containment. Billy Jones, number 77, had outside containment, made a spin move inside, allowed Justin to get outside. When Justin gets around that corner and gets in your secondary, you know, he's a very elusive and very hard to bring down. Not in that he's a strong runner and runs over you, but he's a very deceptive, elusive type of runner when he gets into the open field, picks up the 1st down.
And he'll also run you over if he has to.
If he has to, of course.
big kid.
Looks like a little off-balance line for South Florida. They go option to the short side of the field.
Designed option out of the shotgun, a nifty little play if it can work. Interesting that they do come to the short side of the field and not much of a gain, maybe 2 yards. So, well, actually about 3 or 4. We call it 2nd and 7 now. They get inside the 35-yard line.
Kind of a different look from South Florence, trying to get that secondary or the linebackers for Socastee to react to the wide side of the field with the overload and try to hit them on the short side. Picked up 3-4 yards.
Well, this time Watts goes under center now. 2 backs behind him. The handoff goes to the up back. Darren Cooper. Cooper's got a hole, and he exploits it inside the 15-yard line. A quick.
Because they really went and powered up on the run. This time Cooper just picks up a nice hole in the middle, picks up some good block from the guys up front, bursts into the secondary, and Socastee's secondary has to make the tackle.
21-yard gain by Darren Cooper. Cooper and Young now behind Watts, who looks like he may be checking off at the line of scrimmage. Khalik Young in motion. Watts keeping it, looking to maybe pitch, but a nice defensive play there as Socastee converges on the play. Number 2, Eric Johnson, was there, along with Jeff Doster, number 17.
That's one of the things that the defense for Socastee is going to try to do. You're going to see these 2 inside linebackers really move outside to try to help contain Justin Watts and keep him from getting around the corner. That time as Justin came down the line of scrimmage, Eric came all the way from his inside linebacker position to break up the option.
Need to be active on defense if you're going to shut these guys down. Shotgun formation once again for Watts. 2 receivers split right. Faking the pass or the run up the middle. Watts keeps it himself. What an incredible run by Justin Watts. He's in, and South Florence is on the board.
It didn't take him long to do it, and a very nice looking. Looks like they're really going to depend on the option heavily tonight, thinking that Socastee's coming in. Missed assignment by Socastee, allows Watts to get in without having to make a pitch and just cuts against the grain and picks up the yardage for 6. Justin Watts, folks, that's why you see him in the top of the passers in the state and one of the leading rushers. It's really it's scary what this young man can do once he matures and gets with a big system. He said he wants to go to Carolina, North Carolina,
really?
or South Carolina,
okay.
Clemson or State. He wants to stay close to home, and I'm glad to hear that.
And Keith Schiff tacks on the extra point. South Florence meticulously marches downfield thanks to number 6, and they lead 7-0 over Socastee.
Wood siding's very pretty while it lasts, but before long, wood siding starts to deteriorate. Your paint may start peeling or cracking, or your wood siding could rot due to moisture damage, and you'll still have to repaint every few years. So take the easy and inexpensive approach. Top quality Alcoa vinyl siding, just $59 per month if you call Southern Siding and Supply now. Your home will look better, the resale value will go up, it'll be easy to maintain. Less than $59 per month, no money down, no payments for 6 months for qualified buyers. Ask about CertainTeed replacement windows, because right now, you can buy 10 top quality CertainTeed replacement windows for less than $59 per month. Save money on replacement windows and save up to 33% on your electric bill. Alcoa siding, $59 per month. CertainTeed replacement windows, $59 per month. That's 40 to 50% less than our competitors, and qualified buyers make no payments for 6 months. Southern Siding and Supply guarantees professional installation on both siding and windows. Call 763-4944 now for a free, no-obligation estimate, and find out how you can win $5,000 worth of home improvements.
This is WWMB TV 21, Florence, Myrtle Beach.
And the kickoff here just in time for Socastee to take over for the second possession. The kick goes out of bounds, and they'll take things over there. I think they'll tack on 5 yards.
Place it at 35.
Let's check out that South Florence scoring drive. 6 plays. They started from the 48-yard line of Socastee, and it only took them 2 minutes and 13 seconds. That great run by Justin Watts from 10 yards out, and they lead this 7-0.
And the surprise in this drive, Justin Watts did not complete a pass. All on the ground.
That's a good point.
A lot of options. The nice run up the gut by Darren Cooper broke out for good yardage, but mainly it was Watts on the option, taking advantage of probably some confusion in the secondary or in the on the outside assignments for Socastee. These guys will really have to get their assignments down, take Watts out or take the pitch out.
Good field position now for Darren Holmes and company. They start things at the 35-yard line, and the handoff goes to Dewey Smalls, and he's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's taken down right at the line of scrimmage.
That was Stephen Lyles, the 5'10", 170-pound junior in at the backfield that time. And he was taken down hard, like you said, by Steve Williams. Steve had a big play, a big fumble recovery 2 weeks ago against Marion to turn that game around. South Florence came out very lethargic in the first half on offense. Stevie made a big fumble recovery in the third period to get the Bruins turned back around on that.
2nd and 10 now for the Braves. Receivers 2 to each side, so this Socastee offense likes to spread things out when they can. Here's Holmes, back to pass, firing out. The ball is dropped by Lucas Green right through his hands.
And from Darren Holmes, incomplete.
Lucas was a player at wide receiver last year for Socastee, and that's the thing about this young, struggling offense. When you get the chance to make the play, because Socastee's struggling. They're not always in a position to make a good play. Whenever you get a chance, you got to cash in on it, Luke. Help them out.
And that is a rarity. Lucas Green, the 4th leading receiver in the state, 17 catches, over 240 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's not going to drop many balls. So it's 3rd and 10. Socastee in another deep hole here on their 2nd possession of the first quarter. Holmes with the inside quick pitch there to number 20, Brooke Falk, and Falk's got some room. He breaks to the outside, gets the first down. They call it the shovel pass, and it works to perfection for the Braves.
Nicely set up that time by Socastee. They ran 3 receivers to the short side of the field, which really got the defense overloaded to the top of the screen. And they just come back and run motion away, pitch it underneath the Falk, and it gets a nice lockup on the outside over here by number 23. That's Stephen Lyles. Locks up with the defensive back and allows him to get around the corner. That was against Brandon Perkins, the sophomore corner. But Perkins comes back and pushes him out of bounds.
20-yard gain that time by Falk. Frankie McCallum had a shot at him in the backfield, but missed him, and McCallum can't get him. But boy, what a big hit there by Steve Williams. I tell you, this defensive front from South Florence is very, very active, big and quick.
Oh yeah, very big. We saw them 3 weeks ago against a Wilson team just totally take them, Wilson, completely out of their game plan, and really hung a lot of pride on that big goose egg we put on the board. And they've done a good job this year, except for the loss to Spring Valley, where they gave up 48 points. And in Mike and Justin's own words, a game in which they did nothing right, offensively, defensively, special teams. So the defense has really done a good job this year for South Florida.
2nd and 12 now for Socastee. Holmes flares it out, but it is not caught by Falk. Let him just a bit too much, and it's just as well because the defender was right in his face, Kyle King, ready to make the play. So it'll bring up 3rd and 12. A lot of 3rd down situations early on for Socastee, something they do not want to get in the habit of doing. They got to start converting those first downs and moving the football earlier in the series.
Got to try to be a little more unpredictable and keep their plays mixed up. What this Socastee defense and the South Florence offense, the Socastee offense tries to do is stretch you out across the field horizontally and then beat you upfield vertically.
Trips left for Holmes, who rolls to the left, and he flares it out to Falk, and Falk makes the catch. He has enough for the first down past the 35-yard line, taken down at about the 32. So another huge 3rd down conversion by the Braves, and they are in business. 14-yard gain.
Yeah, Falk picks up a beautiful block downfield on that play from Lucas Green. Lucas had ran a little end pattern, and when he swung the ball out into the flat to Falk, Lucas turned back around. Looks like they may be putting in some wrinkles that South Florence hasn't seen. They're faking the one side of the field and come back and hitting their best athlete on the other side. He picks up a nice block for number 77. That's Bill. Stevie Williams is coming out of the game now for South Florence.
18-yard gain that time by Green, and another pass inside by Holmes. He's got an arm. He's zinging those things out there, and that time South Florence is there to answer as the ball is caught by Mazik.
And you got to wonder if it's going to be a matter of time before one of these receivers does a little catch and go and tries to get behind the South Florence secondary, because the South Florence is going to play it straight. Looks like they're playing man coverage. They're playing one man up and one man back, so they're in some type of pseudo man coverage so that they can keep a body on a body. And with they see this look every day in practice, so they're used to practicing against it.
Well, you complete those short passes too. Sooner or later, someone's going to break a tackle and go deep. Here's Holmes going deep. Throws it out of the end zone, going for Falk, though. Makes a diving effort for it, but 5 yards out of the end zone. So that'll bring up 3rd and 8 now for the Braves.
Holmes had the distinct pleasure of meeting Eric Prescott that time in the backfield after he released that ball. And Eric got up. Eric's a 6-foot, 212-pound junior linebacker, came on a blitz that time and attacked Darren Holmes from behind.
Socastee 2 for 3, 3rd down conversion so far. They're staring one at the face here, right in the face here, 3rd and 7. At the 16-yard line. Let's see what Holmes can come up with here. 2 receivers split right. And they go with the draw up the middle. Inside the 5-yard line, Brooke Falk, who has been everywhere tonight, lines up in the backfield and gets the first down.
Nice play call.
Actually, that was Dewey Smalls. And there's a referee's timeout on the play. They're going to see how close Smalls got on this. He's just inside the 5-yard line, so it's going to be really close.
Nice call by Coach Randy Gold over there on the other side of the ball. You got to think the South Florence offense and the defense is looking for a pass, a little slant in, a little fade route to the corner, and they pop them up tight with a little draw play. And if yards pick up the first down, so Socastee's retaliating and answering the challenge set down by the Bruins very early.
Nice little drive put together by the Braves, and certainly something they wanted to do here after going 3 and out in their first possession. And chewing up clock, showing that they can control the football, converting on 3rd down and really mixing things up nicely. So it's 1st and goal now for Socastee. Holmes on the quarterback sneak. He's close. No signal.
What we're going to see from Socastee is, as we go into the season, as they get more and more comfortable. See, a lot of these kids have been playing high formation with Sinclair back there for the last 3-4 years. So this is a whole new system to them, whole new coaching staff. This is Randy Gold's team, no doubt about it. But they're still adjusting to the system. The one-back system is a more wide open, different type of form blocking, technique blocking. And then once the receivers and the backs and the quarterbacks get everything synced up, and they get the athletes to man these positions, you can see a very explosive type of offense, as we see on the South Florence side of the ball, as they have the receivers, the quarterback, the offensive line that Justin Watts has. And eventually Socastee could have that type of team.
Tony Cuzio boots it away. South Florence will try it again. The ball is bouncing around by the goal line. It is finally picked up by Brandon Perkins. He gets it out to the 5-yard line, but miserable field position now for South Florence. You know, Randy Gold, too, it's his first year, but he certainly has a lot of coaching experience. He was a linebacker, starting linebacker at the Citadel for 4 years. He coached the assistant at USC, South Carolina, and he was an assistant at Sumter, and we all know what kind of good program Sumter has. So he certainly knows his way around the gridiron, and he's a very aggressive type coach.
Yeah.
And we'll be matching wits here with that man, Mike Watts, who he's a pretty good coach. When you say Mike has been around a little bit. He knows what he's doing. And his son Justin under center here for the second possession for South Florence. They go right up the middle, and they are met by a sea of white jerseys. We'll check out that Socastee scoring drive. That's a beauty. 11 plays. They travel 65 yards, 3 minutes and 23 seconds. The 4-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, Darren Holmes, and we've got a tie ball game. 2nd and 8 now for South Florence. 2 backs behind Justin Watts. Referees blow the whistle. 3:21 remaining here in the first quarter.
You were talking about, Randy Gold and his qualification. Let's look at some of his assistants. Ronnie Burgess, an All-American at Wake Forest, 2 years for the Green Bay Packers. He's the defensive coordinator, and the defensive back coach. He played at 85 Sumter High School back in their heyday. Shane Williamson came over from Union County. Union's probably going to win the state championship this year. Steve Duggan, was an All-American at Furman, outstanding lineman in the state on the national championship team in the 1990s. Max Smith, the quarterback coach, played for Doug Shaw in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's some credentials there. 2nd and a short, 2. Watts takes it himself. I believe he got the first down. Had to get out across the 15-yard line, and he did. 1st and 10 for South Florence.
So right now, nobody's defense has risen to the occasion yet, so that leads me to believe we could see a lot of points tonight. Until we see one of these defenses step up and start making some big plays, you have to kind of assume it's going to be up and down the field tonight. So, folks, you picked a nice night to tune in with.
That's right.
Stay with us.
Justin Watts, 8 touchdown passes through the air, 5 on the ground, so he can get it done both ways. 2 receivers split right, 1 left. Here's Watts, the play action fake. Throws to his right, the ball is caught, and a nice catch there. I believe it was Kalik Young, and Young makes a grab. Short gain, call it 2nd and 7.
Right there, Justin's just taking what the Socastee defense is giving him. They're giving him the short out. He's popping his receiver out in the zone, and he's got the arm strength to get it out there before the defense can react. Like I said, last week against Stratford, they were giving him the run, so they ran the ball. And that's what a good quarterback and a good, patient offensive coordinator can do. They take what the defense gives you.
Spin move by Watts, keeps it himself. And Justin Watts is on the loose, dragged down from behind by Eric Johnson, but not before he rips some yardage off to the 40-yard line, a gain of 20 yards for Justin Watts. He looks and he takes off.
Well, as soon as he sets up in the pocket, number 63 breaks loose on the Socastee defensive front. And gets all over him, and Justin just takes the ball. So, okay, if you're going to rush me, I'm out of here. I'm getting down the field. There's Gary Gamble, the reserve defensive lineman, who busted through over 67. That was Brian Cook. He beat Brian Cook on the inside.
5 carries for 48 yards so far for Watts. Looks like he's checking off here. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. He comes back up under center. 3-step drop, swings it out to Cooper. Darren Cooper is out past the 45, gets to midfield, and gets another South Florence first down.
Nice read by Justin Watts. He had man-to-man on both the outside receivers. He ran them both off, and he took Cooper, swings him out of the backfield. And look who's got a covering. Number 2, Eric Johnson, all the way from the inside linebacker position. The ball's out there way before he is. He picks up a nice block from Muldrow and gets up the sidelines. Good read, good play call by the offense of South Florence.
Decent recovery by Sean Patterson, the defensive back, but by the time Cooper had turned the corner, he already had the first down. 11-yard gain that time. Watts to Cooper.
It's not going to be a nice night for the defensive coordinators on these teams, I don't think.
It's frustrating and a long night when you have to go up against an offense that is so diversified and just they keep you up at night the Thursday before.
Right. Well, you got to stop Justin. And then so every team that plays South Florence this year, that's where they're going to have to stop. They have to contain Justin and make somebody else beat him. And that's exactly what Socastee's trying to do. They're going to try to contain Justin, make him throw the ball, and just try to play tough on the corners and come up and make the hits. And if somebody else beats them on a long pass, that's okay. As long as Justin Watts doesn't run for 150 yards like he's on his way to doing right now. So right now, you know, Socastee's got to find a way to stop Justin Watts and make him a passer and not a double threat. But everybody who plays them is going to be up against that this year. And the Socastee defensive coordinators have got some nice little wrinkles. They're running a little nickel package. They've got the defenders back to stop, but right now they don't seem to have the strength to maintain Watts off the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 from midfield for South Florence. Watts in between his running backs Young and Cooper, and he swings it out to Cooper once again.
Nice recovery.
Darren Cooper is dragged down by Brad Harris, but another nice gain of about 4 or 5 yards for South Florence. So this short passing game seems to be working.
That's asking a lot of your middle linebackers to do, having to run out from the middle and guard these backs as they swing out of the backfield. You're talking about little scat backs. Cooper and Young will be running out of the backfield all night. Eric Johnson and Brad Harris. Brad Harris probably not the fastest of those two linebackers, so look for Justin Watts to try to get that mismatch on the wide side of the field with Brad Harris. Brad Harris, very good run support, great hitter, but not quite as fast. And there's Brad.
And look out. Watts hangs in the pocket and delivers a beautiful ball to Khalik Young. He took a lick after he threw that ball. His defensive end was bearing down on him. I think it was Trey Mason, number 74.
It was Brad Harris came on an outside linebacker blitz. But look at Watts sit in the pocket and just deliver this ball right on target. Nice tight spiral. How you draw it up.
Oh, that was beautiful. And you know what? Harris actually he held up nicely on that.
Yeah, when Justin followed through, his back was to him, and he just kind of pushed him.
He could have really blasted him from the blind side too. That was a nice play by Harris. Beautiful delivery that time by Watts. Another first down for South Florence. They're inside the 20-yard line, threatening here once again. They give it right up the middle. Not much running room that time. 2nd and 9 now for South Florence as Socastee rises to the occasion a little bit there. Cooper took a lick. Not a big guy, only 5'8", 157 pounds.
You see the flak jacket he's got on right there. He's probably had some hits in the ribs, and he's got those ribs protected to keep him from getting any further injury.
Well, that was the last play of the first quarter, and it's been a good one. We are tied at 7. Socastee and South Florence, the Bruins are threatening, and we'll be back with second quarter action right after this.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 5, the ear. Ingeniously designed to capture allows Advance Auto Parts salespeople to hear every word you say.
I put coolant in the radiator, but it still overheats.
The more you talk, the more they listen. Hearing your problems out is how they figure the problem out. Only then do they use part number 9.
Sounds like the thermostat.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
You can take the shortest way home, or you can go like this and do a few hundred things on the way. No wonder you're thirsty.
Real cowboys ride to the Broken Arrow Western Tack Shop. We have everything for the serious horseman at the best prices. Our saddle room is stocked with saddles by Simcoe, American, and Dakota. Also bridles, breast collars, and a complete line of horse care products. For the cowboys and cowgirls, we have top quality clothing to fit you from head to toe. Hats, boots, shirts, jeans, all the best brands. Ride into the Broken Arrow Western Tack Shop today, located just a mile past the square on North Main Street in Darlington.
This is WWMB TV 21, Florence, Myrtle Beach.
Never saw so many saddles in my life. Maybe you could get one for your horse there, Lane.
I don't have a horse, Terry.
Oh,
I don't even have a dog.
First play of the second quarter now. 2nd and 8 for South Florence, and Watts takes a hit. The ball is loose. Socastee scoops it up in a huge break as Billy Jones is there to recover, and that was a free ball. Socastee has the football. What a huge play.
Boy, it was a Justin Watts sandwich that time. Looked like both the defensive ends brushed free. Nice Jeff Doster from the secondary coming in from the safety blitz. Number 32, Rico Walsh, the strong safety blitz. They mixing it up. They kept the linebackers out, brushed both the secondary men, caught Justin Watts off guard. Billy is right there to pick it up.
Good job by Watts to get up.
Really?
Man, he got up in a hurry when that ball got loose to make sure the defender wasn't going to get downfield. Big break for Socastee. Let's see if they can make anything happen here. They take over at the 30-yard line. Holmes, a little mix-up in the backfield there with Smalls. Dewey Smalls just gets back to the line of scrimmage. So one guy going one way, the other going the other. They're talking about it right now. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for Socastee. So surprised they didn't go deep there. A lot of times that's the unwritten rule. You get the turnover, you try to go deep and get a quick strike.
I think if you try to predict what either one of these teams is going to do offensively, you're going to be in trouble because they're both of them are going to try to fool the other one. So you're going to see a lot of mix-up, a lot of diversion, and a lot of running when they should be passing when they should be running.
Holmes, 3-step drop once again, sings it across the middle. Nice pass and great catch by Lucas Green. That was a beauty. First down, a gain of 14. What a connection.
Nice look by Holmes. He just pops his, look at that nose up in the air. He throws the ball right on strike to Lucas Green, who trips over his own 2 feet.
Well, I tell you what, it's interesting you see that the grass is very, very long down there, unusually long. I don't know if they cut it or not before the game, but walking down there, I'm thinking if you have spikes on, you're in trouble tonight.
Or if you're a running team, you're in trouble. Maybe the South Florence groundskeepers are looking out after him.
That's right. And they zing it out that time to Falk. Falk, great job breaking a couple tackles. And he's got a first down. So it's back-to-back first downs for the Braves, and they are moving this football down the field right at about midfield. He's actually going to be short a little bit of the first down as he stepped out of bounds right before the marker. So second and 3 now for the Braves. They are exactly at midfield.
Brooke Falk's a very important cog on this team with Josh Radicke out with a broken arm last week against Georgetown, and several other players on this offensive team who have left the team for whatever reason. He is playing a big role for Socastee.
And this is Smalls. Dewey Smalls rips it up the middle. Falk came in motion. They gave the quick hitter to Dewey Smalls, and he burst up the middle. A big gain of 17 yards that time.
Good blocking up front by the Socastee offensive line. Shane Stanford and Marcus Johnson that time doing most of the dirty work. Charlie Lanier in the center. He's the quarterback of that offensive line. The 5'11", 230-pound senior center has been there for a long time for Socastee.
Well, we got some fireworks tonight. Both these teams using every inch of this field. Tonight we're going coast to coast. Here's Holmes, rolls out to his left, firing it out there, and it is incomplete, intended for Mazik. Not sure if that was an intended roll or if Holmes just decided to scoot on out to the left side, see if he could get a completion. Holmes so far 7 for 12, 77 yards. He's showing me that he's got himself a pretty strong arm. Only a junior.
Give him the time and let the receivers run there. If the receivers will catch the ball, he'll do even better. Yeah, it looked like that play was doomed from the start. He had a quick route, and whoever made whatever his read was when he came away from the center was not there, and he just tried to improvise.
This time he completes to Mazik, and Mazik breaks the tackle, still on his feet, gets across the 35-yard line. Nice play by Terrell Mazik. Makes the catch. Looked like a gain of only maybe a couple yards, but he picks up an extra 5, and now it'll be 3rd and 2 for Socastee. Ball's going to be spotted at the 25-yard line.
Missed tackle by Bruin coming up from the secondary. I think that's number 15. Matt Connor, the outside cornerback, was unable to make the play. We got a Socastee Brave down on the field. Keeter Hayes, the trainer's coming out, and I can't see the number.
I think it might be Billy Jones.
I think it might be Billy Jones, number 77.
He's also the kicker.
Yeah, and starting defensive tackle. That's one man they cannot afford to lose. That's not Billy. That's number 75. Okay. Excuse me. That's Shane Stanford. He's a 6'1", 230-pound senior. And it looks like they're working on his calf area or ankle. If his calf is probably a cramp, but he could have twisted his ankle. There's a good look at Randy Gold standing up with his hat off right there, and Keeter Hayes kneeling over, and he's the athletic trainer. And there's Max Smith, the quarterback coach.
Well, it's a good test for Socastee. They come into this game 2-2, so you start your region play. Why not start off with a couple of tough teams here at South Florence? They got a little revenge. It doesn't get any easier next week. They got to play against Dillon. They'll be at home, which is one good thing, but they got to go up against the man. So
it's home away in China. That's going to be a tough game for a rebuilding Socastee squad to take on a team of the caliber of Dillon. Marlboro County is a team that they should be able to have some success against, because Marlboro County's defense is not what it was last year. This young, wide-open type of offense can probably give Marlboro County some problems, but then they turn around the next week and have to go to Hartsville, and that's another tough road to hoe for a young team.
Yeah, when you're in this region, it doesn't get much easier week to week. It is just one big old opponent after another. 3rd and 3 now for the Braves, and look out, the blitz comes from South Florence. They fumble the football, and South Florence recovers, so Holmes had no chance on that play. He's swarmed over by a host of defenders that time.
Number 20 for South Florence come up with a play. That's Thomas Gordon from his cornerback position, came in there and scooped up a loose ball. Holmes came away from center, and it was South Florence players all around him. The inside linebacker blitz, I think it was Frankie McCullough and Prescott, both met at Holmes and forced the ball loose.
Nice defensive call that time by South Florence. If you ever need a blitz, that's the time to come with it. 3rd and short, and they get the turnover. Big turnover. We got back-to-back turnovers now from each team, and let's see what South Florence can do now. Watts zings it out there to Kalik Young, but his knee was down. Good call by the referee. He's right on it, but he gained 7 yards on the play, so a good gain on 1st down. 2nd and 3 now for South Florence.
Something we haven't seen from the Socastee up front is a lot of inside blitzing. Harris and Prescott are going to be more concerned with the outside containment on Watts. If they get caught up blitzing inside, that's when Watts will get outside and really hurt you.
Kalik Young's 3rd catch of the night. 2nd and 3 now for South Florence. It looks like Watts is checking off the line of scrimmage. Turns and deals to Cooper. Nice spin move by Darren Cooper. He's out past the 45. 1st down, South Florence.
Yeah, you're going to see those 2 inside linebackers for Socastee pretty much staying home and reading Justin Watts. If he goes back in the pockets, they'll drop back into their zones. If he goes down the line, they're going to mirror him down the line of scrimmage, because they have to contain number 6 to have a chance to win this ball game.
3 carries, 33 yards for Darren Cooper. South Florence going with the no-huddle offense now. 1st and 10. Watts keeps it himself on the left side, cuts back, gains about 7 yards. Good run that time by Justin Watts. He's across midfield down at the 47-yard line of Socastee. Well, that'll bring up a 2nd and 4 now for the men in blue. We've had some great drives here. We've only had 1 3-and-out so far.
That was first series for Socastee.
First series for Socastee. Since then, both offenses have really shown us a lot.
I'm telling you, I like Justin Watts in that light powder blue. I think he ought to wear that for 4 more years.
Ooh, I know some Gamecock fans and some Tiger fans that wouldn't agree with that. Fires it across the middle to Kalik Young, who hangs on after taking a big shot that time by Lucas Green.
Also, Jeff Doster in there from the strong safety position came up and was running right in his hip pocket, but Watts delivers the ball. There's Luke coming in with the big hat on him. And the Socastee secondary drags down Kalik Young, but it's a 1st down for South Flo.
Got some great receivers in this game. I tell you, Johnny Muldrow and Kalik Young for South Florence, great receivers. Mazik and Green on the other side. Can light it up here tonight, Lane. Looks like 1st and 10 for Watts. He throws that one high, but nice catch by Titus Thomas. Breaks a tackle, and he's finally dragged down at the 15-yard line. I thought that ball was overthrown, and touch. I'm telling you, that baby just floated right in there. Beautiful play. Gain of 23.
Watch Justin Watts going to throw this one right to you, folks, right in your living room. Catch it. Here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
Titus Thomas just floats out. Nice 2 hands on the ball, tucks it in, takes the hit, and keeps on ticking.
Great look at it. Richard, our main man on the sidelines with that replay.
He's got an insurance policy on that arm.
He doesn't bail, does he? Coming
no,
right
he stays right in there.
There's a quarterback sneak by Justin Watts. Touchdown, South Florence. And they lead.
Man, this kid.
You know that was just an audible.
Oh, yeah,
he just went up to the line of scrimmage and said, hey, where are you guys at?
Yeah.
Number 34, Brad Harris, shifted off to the left side, and he says, hey, I'm going to go in for a 15-yard touchdown here.
What he saw is he saw Eric Johnson a little more concerned with the outside containment there, and he just put a move on Brad Harris. Ed Love, the center, took out the inside and bumped Brad Harris, and Justin Watts just goes up, picks a hole, and takes it.
Keith Schiff on for the extra point, and it is up and good. So Socastee could not converge after a turnover. South Florence does. They march right downfield. Justin Watts with a touchdown, and South Florence leads Socastee 14-7 with 6:10 remaining before halftime. Back at Memorial Stadium right after this.
Attention mobile homeowners, are you tired of your roof leaking, being too hot? Then call Future Resources at 1-800-31-ROOFs. Future Resources will install a layer of rigid foil-faced insulation board over your current roof and cover the insulation with a one-piece white single-ply roof membrane made with DuPont Alloy Key that will reflect 87% of the sun's heat-producing rays, providing immediate savings up to 60% on air conditioning bills while keeping you much cooler inside. Call Future Resources at 1-800-31-ROOFs and get a 100% maintenance-free roof, a lifetime 100% manufacturer's guarantee, not to leak, discolor, or mildew. While we cannot control the outside temperature, you can control the inside temperature and stop all leaks by installing a roof-over system from Future Resources. Call Future Resources today at 1-800-31-ROOFs and ask about the hot summer special with a lifetime warranty. Call 1-800-31-ROOFs now and save. 100% financing available, local references available.
This is WWMB TV 21, Florence, Myrtle Beach.
And we are back, 14-7, South Florence on top of Socastee. We're going back and forth here. Wild game so far. Will Floyd set to kick things off for the Bruins.
Come out to a can you top this? Each team's offense is going to have to take control of the game. Looks like a nice little wedge set up this time by Socastee.
Brooke Falk at his own 2-yard line and fouls his blockers out to the 20-yard line. And that's where he'll be called down right at about the 20-yard line. And here's that South Florence scoring drive. It took them 6 plays. They traveled 72 yards in only 2.5 minutes. Justin Watts with the 15-yard quarterback sneak, and South Florence leads Socastee 14-7.
Socastee has not beaten South Florence since 1988.
Ouch.
It was a 28-17 win. The last 2 losses
have been nightmares.
Yeah, 41-36, and the one before that, they faked an extra point and won 15-14. And both times, the last 2 years, they've beaten an undefeated Socastee team.
Well, that time Darren Holmes had nowhere to go. That time he was sacked. A bunch of tacklers in on the play that time for South Florence. Kyle King in on it, along with number 46.
Prescott.
That's Eric Prescott inserted into the game. He's a pretty active linebacker when he's put into the game. 46, the middle linebacker for South Florence. A defense really that has risen to the occasion a lot of times this year, and really kind of gone unnoticed when you have such a great offense, a third leading offense in the state. And you know, when you're the defense, you're not going to get much recognition.
You know, a lot of people don't realize this defense has got 6 returning starters on there. Of course, they got a lot of young faces. Damian Sims is only a freshman playing in the line, but they've got Frankie McCollum right there who just made that squash. Frankie leads the team in tackles with 29, a fumble recovery, 6 sacks, and he's got a body to go with it, folks. 6'3", 215, and he's just a 10th grader.
Oh,
he'll be back 2 more years.
And that'll keep you up at night, too, if you're the opposing coach. Darren Holmes rolling out on that play. Nowhere to go that time.
Good pursuit by the South Flow defense.
It's 3rd and 18 now for the Braves. Once again, well, you know, maybe that's what they need. They can't get those first downs unless they're facing a 3rd and long. It seems like that's the only time they convert on 3rd and long. So.
Well, Socastee, not like South Florence. Socastee's not the kind of team where Darren's going to go back in the pocket and hit you on a 20-yard post pattern across the middle. Okay, they're going to nibble, bite. You know, and South Florence is the kind of team where Justin can go back in the pocket and hit Khalik or Muldrow down the sidelines for the bomb and keep you wide open all night. Socastee's just not quite to that level where they can step it up and get off big chunks of yardage. So this is not the area they want to be in. This is what this does. The 3rd and long, it takes any threat of a run out of the play. So you got to depend on Darren Holmes to go back in the pocket, sit up, and find a receiver. South Flow again, practicing against Justin Watts every day. They're used to that. This is what they live in. This is what they do all the time. So they're, I think, a little better prepared secondary-wise to defend, whereas Socastee is not against Justin.
Well, up to this point, Holmes has been pretty successful on the rollouts, and he's gotten some pretty good pass protection. The last 2 times it has really crumbled on him. So it's 3rd and 18 now for Holmes. He's going to try rolling out once again. Here he is throwing, and it's out of bounds. And Socastee will have to punt it away with 4:30 remaining here in the second quarter.
Darren held on to that ball too long. His receivers were open early, and by the time he adjusted, got his body ready to throw, the defense was able to recover and get back into their coverage. Darren's got to come around that corner ready to throw as soon as the receivers break open. Green and Falk were both open in the middle of the field. And that's something when you spread this field out, the middle is going to be soft. There's going to be some trails right in the middle there that'll be soft if you can catch your receivers in there. But South Florence is doing a good job of pressuring the quarterback.
Yeah, Falk was open across the middle. It would have been a tough throw, but it could have been made. There's a nice punt that time by Billy Jones. Fair caught by Cooper at the 44-yard line.
Tough catch. That was a knuckleball. That ball wasn't moving.
Yeah, Jones did a good job of getting that off. A lot of pressure that time. A punt of 29 yards. So South Florence with a chance to put another 6 on the board. They have 4:24 to work. An eternity for number 6.
Yeah, both of their scoring drives have been less than 3.5 minutes, so I don't think the clock should come into play here unless they are forced to run the ball a little more than they want to. 87 in the ball game now for South Florence is Morgan Woodward in at the tight end position. So they got two. It looks like they got double tight ends, 2 receivers, 2 tight ends.
There's a good look at Justin out of the gun. Here's Watts looking across the middle. That should draw a flag. Looked like pass interference to me. Oh, yeah, my. Eric Johnson was just an overcoat.
Eric was waiting for that. He saw double tight end, and Justin dropped back in the pocket. They had a good outside rush, so all Eric's doing is sitting there waiting for somebody to come across the middle, and guess who it was? It was 87 Morgan Woodward, the guy we just called. So Eric jumped right on his back, and unfortunately he didn't get the call.
He was a shadow that time, and looked like he had a little contact before, but no flag. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 44. Once again, Watts out of the shotgun, directing traffic here. He puts Young on the left side. Plenty of time for Watts. Going across the middle, hits Woodward, who fumbles the football, but it was no catch.
Oh, Blake Brown, number 8. 5'7", 155-pound junior came up and put a nice little stick that time on Woodward to force this ball free. Watch Justin Watts stand strong in the pocket under pressure.
Look at the touch.
Deliver the ball to Woodward. Ooh, thank you, Blake. Gets his hat on the ball. Blake Brown, the junior, forces it loose.
Perfect touch that time.
Oh, yeah.
Over the linebackers, inside the cornerbacks, and that was a nice tackle by Brown too. Hat right on the ball.
That's a great possession right that time for Socastee. They contained Watts, made him throw. Secondary comes up, hits, doesn't let Watts beat him. They can handle the receivers.
Good point.
Don't let Watts beat you.
All right, 3rd and 10 now. Watts fakes the pitch, fires across the middle. That ball was a little bit behind Kalik Young, but still almost came up with a catch and almost got his helmet ripped off in the process.
Rocco, he's up, buddy. Rocco Walsh, the 5'7", 150-pound junior. This ball is thrown behind Kalik Young. Kalik almost makes the catch, and Rocco doesn't know he doesn't have it, so he just goes ahead and puts a little head wrench on him there to make it work.
And South Florence will be forced to punt for the first time in this ball game. 4:09 remaining, and Justin Watts is the punter.
Yeah, he's been nursing a little bit of a sore ankle all week, so it was very questionable whether he would punt.
Right.
Talking with him before the game, he said the ankle feels fine. And he got off some nice boomers before the game. Of course, fortunately, they didn't get that playoff in time.
Touched upon it earlier. Josh Green, one of the big receivers for South Florence, injured in a car accident, not suited up. He should be able to go next week when South Florence plays at Conway, but missed last week. He missed this week, and he is the backup quarterback.
Yeah,
so we don't want to jinx anybody, but if Watts was to go down in this game, you don't have your backup quarterback there.
Mike Watts has got a bevy of receivers, so although Josh is one of his best, that's not where it hurts him. If Justin goes down, that's where it gets kind of crucial, because Josh is a very confident backup and plays well within himself, and that's where Mike Watts needs him. Just barely died in there, didn't it?
That one almost downed inside the 5-yard line, but it's a touchback, and we'll start things off at the 20-yard line. The Braves have just about 4 minutes to go 80 yards, see what they can do. Punt of 49 yards. Nice roll that time for Watts. 14-7 the score.
But it only netted 29 with it going into the end zone. One of the things now we got to watch for Socastee. This young team has really been hurting itself with penalties and turnovers. They've done a great job so far tonight. Have they been even been flagged? I don't even know if they've been flagged so far. So they've been able to maintain that type of discipline on offense. But They've only turned the ball over once. Let's see if they can put together some type of consistent drive here and getting the ball to the man, Lucas Green.
There's Lucas with a nice catch inside. Little pick play going on there with the receiver. Yep.
Both the receivers are going to run out and draw attention from the secondary, and this is kind of a pick trail play where Lucas is going to come back underneath him and pick up good yardage. All the teams run this. Yeah. This has become a very popular play. Miami, the University of Miami made it popular a couple years back, and it looks like every offensive coordinator in the land's picking that one
That's
up.
the type of play where you can see this play going for 80 yards a lot. You know, it really can get a defense off guard. So here's Holmes once again. The delayed handoff to Dewey Smalls, spins and looks like he got the first down.
Arm tackle by number 20. David Thomas Gordon's only about 5'10", 170. Watch Thomas Gordon reach out. No, it wasn't Gordon. Can't pick up now. I think it was Chapman. Just reached out with his arm and tipped up Smalls. Or Dewey would have had some good yardage on that play.
Spotted him short of the first down, though. 3rd and 1 for the Braves. Clock continues to tick down. 3 minutes remaining before halftime.
That's about a 45-second tackle right there you just saw. There's
McCollum.
McCollum.
A nice look at Frankie.
Frankie Stein.
Frankenstein, I like that. Elainism.
Frankie Stein, yeah.
He
hits
that.
like
First
a Frankenstein, like
he
a
does.
monster in there.
That's pretty scary to think he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, you got to love to play the game, man. Like I said, this kid's got the body that he's going to draw a lot of attention from the scouts.
I'm assuming Frankie's going to be playing both ways, too. And he gets up there junior, senior year. You want a guy like this playing both ways. You want him everywhere.
Oh, you're going to give him the ball? You're going to put him at tight end?
1st and 10 now for Socastee as they try to get the ball downfield here with only 2:20 remaining. Nice play there by Holmes to elude the tackler. It looked like he was trying to throw it away, but it almost didn't make the sidelines there, trying to get it to Lucas Green, and it'll be incomplete, bring up 2nd and 10.
What happened that time, both inside linebackers, we'll see McCollum this time coming on the inside blitz. He and Prescott both come in there. Prescott goes airborne and gets Holmes, and again McCollum both goes airborne. So they're doing a good job of pressuring the young Socastee quarterback. Holmes is only a junior. It's his first year as a starter. A lot of pressure on this young man to perform. He's been thrown into the fire here, but he's doing a good job so far tonight of delivering his offense.
Doing a real good job. Holmes going up top. He's going deep. He's got it. Oh, he had his man Terrell Mazik, and Terrell is not going to sleep well tonight.
That's the big play that Socastee was waiting for. Holmes delivers the ball, and the receiver couldn't catch it. Terrell, baby, you got to have those, man. You got to have those.
A beautiful pattern, a beautiful pass, and it just did not make a connection.
Terrell's holding his arms
He knows
out,
it was his own fault. You don't have to say much more.
How did it get
Great
through
pass. I tell you, Holmes is really showing a lot here in the first half. He's not afraid to throw where defenders are roving around, and he'll zing it in there.
3rd and 10, trips down to the bottom of the screen. Here comes a shuttle pass. They fake it.
And Holmes tries to get it to Smalls, does so, but it is incomplete. He had it for a moment. Just as well, though, it would have been a loss on the play. So that play was just in trouble from the outset. South Florence had that one scoped out perfectly. So now Socastee will have to punt away. So we go with only one punt in the first quarter and half of the second quarter, and all of a sudden we're punting the ball away left and right now.
Let's see if South Florida goes after this punt. The Socastee snap has been weak with every punt attempt, and we got a new punter back there tonight too.
Billy Jones just barely gets that one off. Boy, that's a boomer. And it's going to take a nice roll, too. Beautiful punt that time by Jones.
Frankie McCollum was all over that punt. All he had to do was just accelerate and lay out for the ball. Frankie, we need to work on that punt blocking technique, baby.
You don't want to get kicked in the face.
Of course.
A punt of 51 yards that time by Billy Jones.
Well, that just makes it a little more difficult for Justin Watts. He's only got a minute 50 to go, but we know this young man, he can do it. He can get down the field and put you in field goal position. Schiff's got a good leg. The Socastee defense is not out of the woods yet.
Well, here goes Watts to work. Swings it on out to Young. Loses his footing, but gets out past the 20-yard line. South Florence is going to be in their hurry-up offense as the clock continues to tick down. 1:30 now remaining before halftime.
They'll go no huddle the rest of the way. Socastee had better get organized. That last play, they were way out of position.
Man coverage up on Titus Thomas, too. Here goes Watts, flush from the pocket. He's keeping it, and Justin Watts showing some speed out across the 30, dragged down at the 35. Clock continues to roll. And they're going to switch the chains as they get the first down, but there is 1:08, and as soon as they get that set, the clock will continue.
Socastee's playing their nickel package right now. They've got 2 defensive backs back there. Number 32 for Socastee's Rocco Walsh and Lucas Green are playing the deep half zones, and they're playing man underneath.
Here's Watts again, down the middle. Kalik Young makes the catch at the 50-yard line. Young still on his feet, cuts back, and is tackled at the 45.
That's Brad Harris.
47 seconds.
Brad Harris came back from the linebacker position and caught up with Kalik. Kalik was doing a little bit of east-west running and allowed Brad to catch up, and that's going to bring all that whole play is going to be negated by a clip downfield on South Florence.
Great individual effort that time by Kalik Young. It was a gain of 20 yards, but they're bringing it back 47 seconds before halftime.
I like the way Justin throws the ball. When he gets back in that pocket, it looks like he almost gets on top of it, like he's throwing the breaking ball, and he really sends it in there with that nice tight spiral. I won't say unorthodox because it gets the job done.
Right.
But just like the way this young man looks in the pocket.
There's Watts again trying to go across the middle. They come right back with the same play. It worked once. Why not try it again? But that time it is incomplete.
Kalik was looking for Lucas Green instead of the football because Lucas was there, had him sized up pretty good.
Yeah, I know what you're saying about Justin Watts' motion too. It's not your typical release.
It's a typical, where you roll the ball off your hand. It's almost like he gets on top of it.
Right.
And when he follows through real strong.
Second down now for Watts and company. They're going deep, and he's got his Johnny Muldrow in and out of his hands. So we've had a couple potential touchdown passes here dropped by some receivers. You can't throw it much better than this.
And number 8, Blake Brown, right here, tries to go for the interception, and this bad choice, Blake. You need to get back and cover your man if you can't get a hand on that ball, because Justin Watts, when you're in that position too as a defensive back, you always think you can reach up and grab it. That ball is going to carry a little further. If you're out of position, recover, make the tackle. Don't go for the interception, because Muldrow could have easily caught that ball and sped away from Brown.
Third down now for Watts, going deep again. This time Muldrow makes the catch, and he's upended at the 35-yard line. First down, South Florence, 22 seconds remaining before halftime.
This is a center field read by Lucas Green. He's got to react a little quicker on the ball. He gets to Muldrow and makes the tackle, but if he reacts quicker, he can step in front of those. You've got a 2-deep zone back there. Green and Walsh are back there sitting back playing center field. You should not be able to go down those center zones like that.
The seams are just very huge.
Exactly, and that's exactly where your 2 defensive backs are sitting right in those seams. Right. So all you got to do is see the ball, react, come up and make the play.
Can this kid throw the football? I am telling you, that is
yes,
he
can.
Is a 25-yard rope there. I mean, that's just right down the middle. It's a beautiful pass.
Good look from the end zone camera. No pressure by the Socastee defensive front. Justin just steps up, hits the ball right in the seam to Muldrow on stride, and Lucas is there just slightly short. Your cornerbacks are really not able to stay with the outside receivers of Socastee. Kalik Young and Muldrow both have enough speed to get away from the corners. All they're going to try to do is jam them up at the line of scrimmage and slow them down a little bit. Coming into the ball game now for South Florence, number 83 is Bradford Andrews. He's a sophomore flanker, only 148 pounds. It looks like he's going to get a little action tonight. Also on there, we talked about him earlier, number 40 for Nick Vitale, the 5'9", 155-pound senior who's replaced Josh Green.
Here we go, first down from the 35, 22 seconds before halftime. South Florence trying to punch another score in. They already lead 14-7. Watts out of the shotgun with a blitz in his face, lets it go, and it is picked off. Sean Patterson returning it to the left sideline, trying to get out of bounds. He's dragged down by Darren Cooper, so the threat is halted. And that play was really attributed to the pressure that Socastee got on that time.
Jeff Dorster, number 17, coming from the corner blitz, is all over Justin Watts, forces him to completely hang that ball up in the air. The receiver falls down, and Sean Patterson steps in. Johnny on the spot to make the pickup. Had some good momentum going across the field, but the South Flow defenders and the running back, that's Darren Cooper, takes him down. And Socastee's going to have the ball at about the, 35-yard line. Only 11 seconds to go, so I don't anticipate Socastee doing anything to endanger their position. Right now, they're only down a touchdown. This game's very reachable for them. A young team, play it close to the vest, and give yourself an opportunity to win the ball game.
That's one thing you got to think about. You have your average high school quarterback. He doesn't make that throw. He realizes he can't make that throw. When you have a Justin Watts with a strong arm,
Yeah.
He's thinking, heck, I can make this throw. That may come back to haunt him like that. If he maybe takes a step, lets the defender come off, granted, he only has a split second to think about it, but, you know.
And we've seen him do that, too.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so elusive. Right when you think you get ready to tackle him, he'll drop a hip and you'll run by him. If he's able to stand in the pocket, stand up straight and throw that ball, you don't see that type of flag. But what he basically did, I mean, he's completely off balance. His momentum's going backwards, and he's off his feet. He has no plant, no foundation at all to throw with, so the ball's hung up. I'm sure Mike told him that. Mike said, yeah, you shouldn't even thrown that ball. You should have ate it, and we'll take our chances with a field goal.
Well, they're going to try to throw this thing up for grabs. Holmes zings it on out there. It is incomplete. That'll stop the clock. 5 seconds.
That was a little hook and ladder going there. And Green dropped the ball, and it was set up nicely.
I thought you didn't bring that out to the end of the game.
Well, it's end of the half's a good time for it. I saw Sherrall do it a couple years ago in Myrtle Beach, way out of field position, and put themselves in field goal position and to pick up 3 points right before the end of the half. That play was set up very nicely. Throw was a little low, so Lucas had to go down. It looked like he was on his knee when he attempted to catch the ball, but it looked like it was set up very nicely by Socastee and Randy Gold.
This will be the last play of the first half. Holmes rolling out. He's going to have to keep the ball. Darren Holmes running up the middle. He is caught from behind, tackled by Eric Prescott as time expires here in the first half. So if you're Socastee, obviously you're not happy being down by a touchdown. They could have been tied with the long touchdown pass, but then again, they could be down by 2 scores had South Florence been able to capitalize on that last drive.
I think Socastee's got to be real happy with this first half of football. They've done a good job against South Florence.
Good ball game here so far. South Florence leads Socastee 14-7 in this Region 5 4A clash. We'll be back at Memorial Stadium with halftime activities right after this.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 12, the hand. A remarkable part of every Advance Auto Parts salesperson, the hand can grasp any automotive situation.
My car goes.
Instantly, the hand tests the electrical system, removes the dead battery, and with free installation, puts in a new Autocraft battery. All you have to do is shake part number 12. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Insurance companies spend thousands of dollars training adjusters to protect them from injury victims' claims.
What do we say? We say no. What do we do? Deny the claim.
If you've been injured in an auto accident and you're facing medical bills, lost income, and an uncertain future,
who can help you deal with these trained professionals? Who can get you the benefits you're entitled to?
Attorney Ben Matthews helps injury victims deal with the graduates of the Adjuster Academy. Your first visit is free, so call Ben Matthews. We're here to help.
Have you been into Coastal Electric and rewinding lately? If you haven't, you're missing out. Everyone knows they carry a full line of heavy-duty industrial tools. But did you know that Coastal Electric has safety equipment, work gloves, and tool pouches? How about air compressors, generators, and ladders? Coastal Electric even has the little things like sandpaper and extension cords. Also see the full line of Bosch, Hitachi, Milwaukee, and Delta industrial tools. Stop by Coastal Electric and rewinding today. 10th Avenue North, Myrtle Beach.
And it is homecoming here. Extended halftime. South Florence leads Socastee 14-7 at the break. Good first half of football. Nice defense when they had to come up big. They came up with the big plays, and offense has dominated. Both teams putting up some big numbers so far. 14-7 is our halftime score. South Florence comes into the game 3-1. Socastee at 2-2. The first region game for both of these teams. And we want to remind everyone tonight after the ball game, why don't you get a cold drink and then switch on over to Channel 15 WPDE for Matt Pensick's Friday Night End Zone. The Zone, the complete scores, highlights, interviews, and much, much more. We'll talk Clemson football, we'll talk South Carolina football, and we'll even talk a little Braves baseball.
Everything you would want to know.
And more.
About football, baseball.
Friday Night End Zone with Matt Pensick. Week 5 already. Hard to believe.
It's going to start getting a little cool at night.
That's good.
Do we have some long sleeve shirts we can wear?
We'll get them ordered. We'll get them ordered. But so far it's been a good season. It's going to be a tough week next week for Socastee as they have to take on those Nasty Cats, and doesn't get much easier for South Florence either as they take on Conway, and that I think is going to be a real nice matchup. Both those offenses are just incredible.
I was down talking with some of the South Florence players before the game. Josh Green in particular, talking about his auto accident, and he was you know, I hate we're missing this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so glad to be back next week. And I said, Josh, there's some men on the other side of the ball. That Conway offensive line is good. I mean, and that's going to be a great game because you got two contrasting styles. You got the ball control, running attack of the Conway Tigers versus the wide open offense of Justin Watson. This South Florence defense will be the big key to that game because they're going to have their work cut out for them. Frankie McCullum tonight's running around loose, causing havoc on the field. He'll have to be much more disciplined against that big Conway offensive line because if he turns the wrong way, man, he can get leveled.
Well, we'll take a moment now to check out the Socastee High School in our Scholastic Highlight.
Hi, my name is Georgia Bodkin, and I'm the student body president at Socastee High School. Socastee High has so much to offer the academic student. We're a blue ribbon school of excellence, which sets us apart from all other high schools. Our curriculum provides a variety of courses and boasts the best staff in South Carolina. As far as great teachers go, Socastee is proud to have biology teacher Beth Cox, this year's recipient of the Biology Teacher of the Year for South Carolina. Raymond Cook, an English teacher, was awarded a DeWitt Wallace Reader's Digest Fellowship to study at Breadloaf School of English at Middlebury, Vermont. This fellowship is renewable for 2 additional summers of study. Students also perform at the highest level at Socastee. 3 graduates of the class of '95 were named AP Scholars recently. Junior Martha Gasquey was chosen for the Young Adult Book Award Committee. We also sent 4 students to Academic Governor's School over the summer at the College of Charleston. Socastee High is also very active in the community. The Student Council just held a canned food drive to benefit the needy. Over 50 students and staff participated in Beach Sweep, a program designated to help clean up the Grand Strand. As you can tell, Socastee High School is an excellent academic school. We are made up of students, faculty, staff, and parents who work together to make Socastee the best it can be. Here we all work together to aim for the success of our students.
Say, friends, Action Ford is expanding so fast, even Don Watford, our general sales manager's working overtime.
Doug, it's got to be break time.
Yeah, but here's some hard-working trucks that don't need a break. Listen.
Action Ford is clearing out their 1995 Ford truck line at big discount prices. Now is the time to buy.
Paul Don's down, but he sure isn't out, and you'll be in every time you come and see Don Watford and his staff at Action Ford, Highway 151 Bypass, Hartsville.
This is your brain when you're sleeping. This is your brain in English class, because this is what you're thinking about. No wonder you're thirsty.
What happens when you mix beauty
I'm just naturally gorgeous.
and brains
I just love being me.
with a dash of fun?
You're not gonna believe it.
It's those Wakefield twins back in action.
Cool, huh?
And a whole new season of excitement. Todd's coming back.
Oh my God, I've got to get over there right now.
And new faces.
Tatiana Thomas is starting school here today. Tatiana the model?
A winning combination on Sweet Valley High.
11 p.m. Saturdays on TV 21.
Remember when they were all together?
There aren't enough beds. Where are we all going to sleep?
I've got a going away present for you.
Well, what is it?
Ta-da!
It felt like we were there too.
My life is a total mess and nobody understands. You really are my best friend.
I wish we could go back.
Kelly, something happened between us.
Together again. Beverly Hills 90210.
11:30 Saturday nights on TV 21.
Let's stay together.
And we are back with homecoming festivities here for South Florence at Memorial Stadium here in Florence. Glad you could be with us for our Game of the Week. Lane Harris along with Terry Gurn as we check out halftime statistics from what was a very well played first half of football. South Florence doubling Socastee up on first downs, and the rushing yards lopsided as well as the passing yards lane.
Justin Watts is going to have the bulk of those rushing yards and all the passing yards, of course. The 2 turnovers probably are what's sticking in Mike Watts' craw right now, because that kept them out of the end zone at least one more time and would put them in a much more comfortable position. Good things for Socastee. Only 1 turnover, only 1 penalty in the first half. Neither one of them really hurt Socastee's chances. So Socastee, and look at the time of possession. South Florence is really dominating the time of possession on this end. That's something that Coach Gold is going to try to do, is get his offense to hold on to the ball a little more, because the longer Justin Watts is on the field, the less chance Socastee has of getting back in this game.
And here are the individual stats for Justin Watts. Rushing, 6 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Passing, 9 for 14, 123 yards.
And one
a nice half.
Only one interception.
One ill-advised pass.
And it was going to happen late in the half when it didn't really hurt anything. And we're going to see Justin Watts at his best right now on this nice little 15-yard run late, about midway through the second quarter. He takes South Florence 6 plays and goes 72 yards in 2 minutes and 35 seconds. And
really caught the defense off guard here too, as he. I personally think it was just an audible on his part, where he just said, "Hey, they're giving me something up the middle, and I'm going to take it."
Well, maybe we get a chance to see that second touchdown. What do you think?
Here it is.
There it is. Hey, voila! And all he does, he just walks up the line of scrimmage, sees an outside linebacker on an outside blitz to contain him, and cuts up in the middle, picks up a nice block, and
good balance too.
Yeah, very, very good balance. And on a similar play last year against the same Socastee team, he goes into a massive huddle, almost goes down on one knee, breaks out because all the Socastee defense loses their concentration for a second and picks up 16 yards.
And let's not leave out Darren Holmes, the Socastee quarterback. Pretty good night too. He's putting in 10 for 19, 87 yards through the air. So good ball game here so far. South Florence leads Socastee 14-7. We'll be back with more halftime activities from Memorial Stadium here on WMB right after this.
When you read the Wall Street Journal every business day, you start seeing opportunities where you never saw them before. See for yourself. Subscribe now to the Wall Street Journal. The Journal keeps you right at the heart of what's going on in business. Call now for the Journal and get your free guide to planning your financial future. Facts you need to start planning a secure future right now. Get 10 weeks of the Wall Street Journal for just $38 and get the guide free. Call now toll free, 800-334-2900. That's 800-334-2900.
You know, the key to success in any business is to surround yourself with a lot of really smart people.
No one's a bigger idiot than me.
I'm depressed. I'm inadequate. Yes. I got it all.
Did you hear this?
I'm in a little trouble.
Seinfeld, 10 p.m. Sunday through Friday on TV 21.
Have you got a monster problem?
Monster spit.
Just try Aladdin and get rid of evil fast.
Over 10,000 years of flawless service.
With the latest equipment.
Yes!
A friendly staff.
Yes!
Who?
And the lowest prices in town.
You can't buy a closer shave.
Aladdin and Company guarantee to make your monsters history.
No problemo.
It's Aladdin.
3 p.m. weekdays on TV 21.
Prepare to go where nobody's ever gone before.
Or wanted to go.
Inside Cody's head.
This is the entrance to the brain. It's not used much.
Ah, the main mechanism.
Very overworked, especially when Cody has to decide which fork to use. This would be the memory bank.
Wondering where I left that.
Get into Cody's head on Step by Step, now all week long.
Hey, what if the hamster gets sick or something?
Step by Step, 5 p.m. weekdays on TV 21.
And you are looking at the homecoming queen for South Florence, Sabrina Nolan, escorted by Larry Jones. So the young ladies and men dressed in their finest tonight. Always a fun night, homecoming.
I never got a chance to partake one. I was always
you're always getting yelled at halftime,
on the hill,
right?
sweating my fanny off, getting yelled at.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do that.
You don't want to lose that homecoming game. It can put a damper on the rest of the weekend. But, got a lot of floats here as activities continue. The court following behind Miss Nolan.
I guess she gets to ride on the float. That's where she's getting ready to take her place up on the float.
Do the old parade wave.
That's right.
Good crowd on hand, too, tonight for homecoming as stands here at Memorial Stadium just about filled.
Yeah, the students do a real good job from this school. They take their place right down center at the 50-yard line, right in front of the cheerleaders. And really, a lot of them standing up during the whole course of the game and letting their presence be known. And that's what you got to have. I challenge all of our schools in the area. When they, even if they know the TV 21 game of the week's coming to their stadium, the best way you can support your school is not stay at home and watch it on TV.
Sure.
Is to get out to the game, show everybody in the area that you've got the best school spirit by filling up those bleachers, doing your banners and all the things you have to do to support the school. Make sure they're the right banners, though. We don't want to see none of that T word on our banners, all right?
Touchdown?
Touchdown, that's right.
And there's Sabrina waving to the crowd.
She seems to be very happy.
On her float, hanging on tight because you don't want to fall with that bouquet. But a nice night here. There you see the score in the corner, 14-7. Socastee hanging tough with South Florence. So if you're Socastee, you're in there at halftime. You're Randy Gold. What are you talking to your players about here? Are you positive or are you negative?
Well, I think you're positive. Their defense has shown some good stretches where they've contained Justin Watts and kept Justin Watts from beating them. But you know, with almost 70 yards rushing, 120 passing in the first half, they've got to do a little more than that. Justin's the kind of player, he's going to get his numbers. I mean, you can't stop him completely, but you've got to limit his open field running because he'll hurt you there. And the more he runs, the more his pass becomes effective because you get so conscious of Justin breaking out of the pocket. And about one time he'll break out of the pocket and then hit you deep with a long pass because he's got such talented wide receivers. So I think what Randy Gold's saying right now to his group in the halftime is, you know, we've got a good game plan. All we've got to do is execute. That our inside linebackers contain Watts when he tries to run, and let's get a strong pass rush up the middle. We really haven't seen much of the up front guys. That's Shepard, Smith, Mason, and Jones. Those guys really have not been able to get any pressure on Justin to force him to throw. They can get pressure up the middle on him, and they got the linebackers containing outside. It's going to take away a lot of Justin's options and to force him to run the ball.
And as the floats make their parade lap around Memorial Stadium, we will take a break, and we will be back with second half action from Memorial Stadium between South Florence and Socastee. Stay with us.
Attention building owners, architects, contractors. Do you own or maintain a flat roof and need to prepare for the hurricane season? Tired of your roof leaking? Then call Future Resources at 1-800-31-ROOFs. Our single-ply roof membranes are manufactured by Cooley Roofing and made with DuPont Alloy Key that will reflect 87% of the UV rays. Cooley's membranes are designed for tropical and subtropical conditions. Our installation uses hot air welded seams exclusively for a totally waterproof roof, unlike glued seams that fail over time. Call Future Resources at 1-800-31-ROOFs for your free estimate on a Cooley roof that is 100% maintenance-free with a manufacturer's warranty. Protect your investment with a Cooley roof as Carmichael Auditorium did in 1978 and the 3.1 million square foot Mazda Corporation U.S. assembly plant in Flat Rock, Michigan did in 1986. Cooley has over 300 million square feet of commercial roofing installed. Don't delay. Call Future Resources today. 1-800-31-ROOFs. Local references available for Future Resources, including Exxon Corporation USA. Call 1-800-31-ROOFs.
Bart Simpson is shameless.
Most taverns. I'm looking for a Mrs. O problem. First name B.
Do I have a B.O. problem here?
You sure do.
He's relentless.
Jacques there. Oh. Last name Strap.
Hey, guys, I'm looking for a Jacques Strap.
And he just can't help it.
Is there an alcoholic here? Is I.P. Feely here? Hey, I'm looking for Amanda Hugginkiss.
Bart Simpson, dialing daily on The Simpsons.
10:30 weeknights on TV 21.
We took a whole new angle, a whole new style.
We found a brand new flavor with a brand new smile.
Got his own way of saying things, his own set of rules.
He's a new talking town
With a new point of view. Check mark, he's the one. Come on, we can all bug out. Check mark, shine the fun. He's what talk is all about.
Mark Wahlberg, 12 noon weekdays on TV 21.
Check mark.
And we are back, extended halftime here. Homecoming activities continuing at South Florence as they are leading the Braves 14-7. We want to remind everyone to watch the Friday night end zone coming up at 11:15 tonight on WPDE TV 15. Matt Pensick with all the highlights and scores from tonight's action, including this game. And we'll have the scores and much, much more, some interviews, and we'll take a look at Clemson and South Carolina, as well as some baseball, and of course qualifying from Martinsville got rained on today, but we'll talk a little racing as well. The Friday night end zone coming up at 11:15 on TV 15.
I've got to hustle to get home to catch that now, but I'll stay inside the speed limit, and I think I can catch it because I like to see Matt.
You get back.
Doing it.
Matt does a good job, and
I can stop at the pantry on 501 if
there
I
you
have
go.
to.
Stop at your closest TV and check it out. Well, we got some future Bruins here playing on the track as we continue here at halftime. The game so far well played, only 3 penalties so far, and both teams really going at it offensively, and the defense is bending and really not breaking.
Three turnovers by each team, 2 by South Florence, an interception and a fumble by South Florence. Watts is accounted for both of those. It was his fumble interception that accounted for the 2 turnovers, and Holmes on the other side fumbled away for one for Socastee. So it hasn't been sloppily played. I think what we've got here is we've got offensive improvement.
Nice, clean ball game and kind of ball game you want to see. We want to remind everyone also that we cannot tell you what next week's game of the week is because we don't even know yet. We wait until we see what happens on Friday and we get a true game of the week. So we're going to get a couple teams that are evenly matched, no doubt a region matchup. Mm-hmm. And hey, if you want to make your vote count, give a call in. We'll take it into account and see what we can do about that.
There were some close games this week. We really considered Waccamaw, North Myrtle Beach, a couple of undefeated teams on the Grand Strand down there.
Lake City, Kingstree.
Exactly. Marion Manning, the defending state finalists in Manning against a very strong Marion team would have been a good matchup. So it's West Florence, Dillon, another good matchup. So there's a lot of good games in the area. Let your voice be heard. If you think you've got the game of the week, let us hear about it.
Open schedule from here on out. We schedule the first 5 games, but from here on out, we are scheduling the best games possible, and we think we should have a good lineup for you the rest of the way. This is only week 5, so we've got plenty of football to bring you, and the only place you can see live high school football in the region, of course, here on WMB TV 21. Glad to bring it to you, and glad you could be with us. It's been a fun ride so far, and we've had a couple blowouts the last couple of weeks, but we're making up for it here tonight. 14-7 at halftime as you see Socastee warming up here for the second half, and we're going to be going to action here soon. 1 minute left before halftime as we continue to wait it out the extended homecoming halftime activities here.
You're going to get a blowout every once in a while when you get a game of the week. But let me remind some folks, we had a stretch last year. Let me go through these for you. Scotland County, Marlboro County, the field goal bounces off the crossbar at the horn, and Marlboro County wins.
Right.
Scotland County's only loss of the year. The next week, Myrtle Beach, Conway will play for the victory bell. Myrtle Beach goes 60 yards in 45 seconds. Ian Simmons' 25-yard touchdown run puts Myrtle Beach within a point. They fake the extra point for the 2-point conversion pass Swigert to Rusty Parker for the 2-point conversion with 25 seconds to go. Myrtle Beach beats Doug Jordan for only the second time in 13 years and takes home a victory bell.
And it gets better.
The next week, we go to Socastee, and we got a Socastee team that completely blows South Florence off the field in the first half.
28-0.
28-zip at first half. Watts scores 1 touchdown and right before halftime to make it 28-6. They come out, Socastee fumbles the opening kickoff. South Florence takes it right in. Everything that Socastee did right in the first half went wrong in the second half. Justin Watts was not going down the field taking huge chunks of yardage. He was taking what the defense gave him, and eventually we had a 28-28 game. Eventually, a big turnover, interception by Frankie McCullum, who had been injured the 3 weeks before, puts South Florence in great field position down here. South Florence goes up 35-28. Only 2 minutes to go. Only 2.5 minutes to go. Socastee takes the ball behind Randy Sinclair, goes the length of the field, almost 80 yards in a little over a minute, and scores with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go.
36-35.
Fake the extra point. What was it then? I'm sorry. It was 34-35. They go for 2 and get it.
36-35.
Gauze pass to Sinclair for the 2-point conversion. The Socastee sidelines are ecstatic. I mean, the place is going bonkers because they had just lost a 28-point lead. They get it back, and Justin Watts, they kick the ball off. The guy goes down at the 10-yard line. Justin Watts hooks up with Kalik Young on a 67-yard pass play, and this is what the amazing thing about that game was. Justin Watts ends up running the ball in from about 6 yards out with no timeouts left, crosses the goal line with 8 seconds to go to win the ball game. 41-36 in the most exciting football game, high school or college I've ever seen.
Well, thanks for filling that time, Lane. I was wondering how we were going to fill that 3 minutes.
Merry Christmas.
Perfect timing right at the kickoff as South Florence will take over. So a good shot for the Braves here if they can get South Florence to turn it over quickly and get the ball back. You always want to get your defense out there, give your offense a little confidence to work from if you can get that 3 and out.
Exactly. That's what Randy Gold probably did. He went in there coming out. The last thing he probably said coming out of that lineup was, defense, you guys are going to get the show first time off. We need to shut them down, get the ball back, and give our offense some good field position.
And South Florence starts things off 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Out of the shotgun is Justin Watts. Fakes the handoff up the middle. He's on the option left. Watts keeps it himself. Nice block that time by Darren Cooper. And Watts gets the first down. Cooper was the pitch man. Found out that Watts wasn't going to pitch the ball and said, heck, I'm going to lay a block on there.
That's right. They had lost their separation. As Justin strings his play out, it gets a little close to Cooper, and Cooper says, okay, if I can't get the pitch, I'm going to cut up in front of you, make a block. And he tries to get a hand there on Brooke Falk, but Justin smartly runs out of bounds. On the first drive, and we saw that a lot, Justin was doing the option, so it looks like Mike's going to go back to what got him down the field in the first series.
First down, 45-yard line of South Florence. Watts taking his time here, roll right out of the gun. He's got a man wide open. Kalik Young just overthrows him at the 45 of Socastee. Good effort by Kalik Young, but can't come down with it.
All right, they've got Socastee's back in that nickel package with the 2 deep defensive backs, 5 defensive backs playing underneath. So all Justin and Muldrow and Justin and Kalik Young are going to try to do is play a little pitch and catch, find a zone, sit down, find a soft spot, and I'll hit you.
Still had a lot of mustard on that pass, even on the run. That's a tough throw to make. 2nd and 10 now. Once again, Watts out of the gun. Socastee showing blitz here. Brad Harris up to the line of scrimmage.
Watch for the quarterback sneak here.
And they come back. They check off. Watts comes under center. You called it.
Yeah, what he's doing is he's catching he's doing a read job with these linebackers. As these linebackers shift, there you see Eric Johnson, the junior, calling for help there. He moved Brad Harris over to one side, so he had a single linebacker. All you got is a man on center linebacker block. If he makes the right block, Justin cut up there, and that's the quickest run, the less chance, less risk play. But you're gonna have a little legal procedure on South Florence on that play.
That's a veteran quarterback for you. If you're a college scout sitting in the stands, you see a heady play like that for a quarterback, that's a big positive. That penalty was against South Florence, push them back a little bit.
Man coverage outside on the wideouts.
2nd and 15. They fake it up the middle. Here's Watts on the right side on the option, keeping it himself. Going to be close to the first down. I believe he got it. He had to get past the 45-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 43. First down, South Florence. So just like that, Watts will kill you.
Let's see who the victim is. Number 17, but see, it's not in Jeff Dorser's defense.
Right.
He had the pitch responsibility, so somebody from the inside got blocked out that time. Probably Billy Jones was the defensive end on that side. Had to take the quarterback. Justin just turned the corner and cut up field and had plenty of blocking.
Jones was probably thinking pass rush, try to get some pressure on him. All of a sudden, Watts is running the football. Under center this time, 1st and 10 at the Socastee 43-yard line. Watts wheels and delivers to the up back. I believe that was Corey Young, who gains about 4 yards on the play. Actually, it was Cooper. 4-yard gain. Actually, a lot more than that. 6-yard gain for Cooper that time. 2nd and 4. He squirted his way right up there. They spot the ball inside the 40 at the 39 of the Braves.
Look for South Florence to run an option off that play. Fake that little belly play up in the inside, and Watts keeps the ball and goes with Young as the pitch man running around the end. That'll be very interesting to see Kalik Young get his speed around that corner if he ever gets an option pitch from Justin. Justin likes to keep those options. He likes to run the ball.
And he goes north-south every time he runs the football, too. A lot of pressure that time for Watts. Floats it up there. Picks off. Here comes Lucas Green down the sidelines, and he returns it to the 40-yard line of South Florence. Flag after the interception. We'll have to check that out. So it's going to be Socastee football. After the interception, that flag came, maybe a clip downfield, but another errant throw under pressure this time by Watts. He had pressure,
Logs it up.
and he lofted it high.
Lofts it up high. Green gets a good downfield block by number 63, Gary Gamble. I don't think the call is on the block because the block was a good block. I'm going to see how this, it's going to mark it off against Socastee. It looked like Gamble got down and gave him a good block downfield. He might have got a hand up in the face mask. They call it a clip. I didn't see that. I'm sorry.
Nonetheless, Socastee has the football. A huge turnover by the Braves. And we talked about this as soon as South Florence got the kickoff. This is exactly what Socastee needs. A nice defensive stand, turnover, and turn it over to your offense and see what Holmes and company can do now.
The penalty hurts, but they still only have to go 54 yards. So they got great field position. And let's see if Mr. Holmes learned anything at halftime.
They start things off their own 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's Holmes. They fake it around the right side, and they give it to number 40, Jeremy Holmes. And he gets a couple of yards. Really just maybe a yard and a half that time. A slowly developing play that time for the Braves.
Jeremy's a squirt, 5'6", 120 pounds.
It's tough to see him out there.
He's a scat back. He gets in there and he scoots pretty good. He's been running the ball real hard, so Coach Gold wanted to give him a good look tonight.
Seen a lot of different plays coming out of that Socastee playbook, I tell you. They've got some looks for you.
A lot of players coming off the bench. They've lost some players, back on Labor Day. Some guys decided they didn't want to come to practice, and Coach Golden and his staff set down the ball. Speaking.
Rushing blow that time by Steve Williams, who just burst through the line, seemingly untouched. Darren Holmes just got waffled on the play.
Getting back to that, not to diminish any of the effort by Mr. Williams. Ouch.
Adam Ward got a shoulder pad on him, but it wasn't enough. Williams just bounced it to the left and came steamrolling up the middle.
A lot has been said and written about the James Brown controversy last year. A lot of dissension on the team after all that's happened. Randy Gold came in and pretty much said, you know, we're practicing on Labor Day. If you're there, you're playing. And some guys decided not to show up on Labor Day. They didn't play against Lake City. Socastee had a good effort against Lake City, but just came up short on talent. Some of those guys did not come back. So this is still a Socastee team that is having to juggle its personnel to try to find some players to step up and fill some roles for them. In some areas, like Stephen Lyles is playing a wideout tonight, number 23, has come up and filled the job for Randy Gold. They're still looking for a few more players.
Darren Holmes comes up a little hobbled on that play after number 44, Chris Chapman, ran him down from behind. So a real nice defensive stand that time by the Bruins. 3 and out for Socastee, so the turnover does not hurt South Florence. Billy Jones, back to punt once again.
He laid out a little bit better that time.
McCallum almost got a hand on it once again. Here's Cooper.
Nice block.
Actually, no, it's number 22, David James, with the carry on the punt, and there's a flag after he is already taken down at about the 18-yard line. A punt of 43 yards and a return of 7. Let's check out the penalty here.
I saw a great block by Cooper. And they're calling another clip. Now, I must be missing something because Cooper made a great block on his defender, picked him up nicely, waited for him to turn around, and put him on his can. Unless there was another block in there that I didn't see, I'm going to quit calling the game. I'll just do it up here.
They can't hear you, so it doesn't do any good anyway, I guess. Well, we only had 3 penalties in the first half, and all of a sudden we've got a couple here early on in the third quarter. 8:06 remaining in the third quarter. South Florence with its second possession here in the second half. Let's see what Justin Watts can do now as they take over at the, I'll call it the 11-yard line.
Frankie's going to get a pump for the night, so you mark my word.
Yeah, he's getting close.
He's going to get one. He's about to size Billy up right now.
That familiar shotgun formation for Watts. Hands it off. No, actually fakes and keeps it himself. Good fake by Cooper off the right side, and Watts kept it off the left side, and he got close to a first down.
Good pursuit back downfield that time by Trey Mason and Gary Gamble from the defensive end and tackle position. As Justin's looking for a place to run, the pursuit just catches up with him. Oh, yeah. Nice hit that time by Gamble.
Good job by the offensive line, too. They just pushed everyone, kept their momentum going right down the right side.
And Watts has all good runners. As soon as you break through about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, you're looking to cut back against that downfield blocking.
Well, just what we talked about earlier, Watts, 9 carries, 91 yards. You got to keep this guy under 100 if you can on the ground. That's where he's going to. Johnny Muldrow up top, and there you see Kalik Young in the slot. Young and Cooper behind in the backfield. Watts the handoff. Is Corey Young, and he takes it to about the 38-yard line.
Well, a lot of
nice little run.
Yeah, good blocking up front by Ed Love. He and Brad Harris got tangled up, and it was good to see Ed help. He and Brad got locked up there, and they pat each other on the back when they get up.
That was a hard-fought 11-yard run.
I thought he was down in the middle of the line. He just really popped out of there, and a lot of the Socastee defenders were having a hard time finding him also.
Now they're going to take a measurement here. It's going to be close to a first down. They're on the far side, so they'll bring the chains across with 6:23 remaining in the third quarter. South Florence leading Socastee 14-7. South Flo trying to get things going after Mr. Darren Holmes and Socastee couldn't convert on an interception from Justin Watts on their first possession here in the third quarter.
It's a nice look at the six. The program expects them to have a great year. Wins will be hard to come by for this team, but with a little experience, a little time, Darren could prove to be a very strong quarterback.
South Florence does get the first down. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line. It's on the ground. Watts picks it up, and he is smothered there by Gerald Shepard and a couple other defenders for Socastee. So first broken play really of the night for South Florence. Get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, we haven't called Shepard's number. He's 6'2", 230-pound junior. He's another player who's really stepped up and played good for Randy Gold's Braves. Smith and Mason. Mason broke his wrist a couple of weeks ago. And I was talking with Keeter Hayes before the game. Keeter didn't bring his medical release to play tonight. He was very concerned that he may not get to play. And Trey fills up a very big hole in that defensive line for the Braves.
2nd and 9 now for Watts, taking his time under center, maybe checking off here. Spins and hands up the middle. That's Young again. Corey Young gains a couple. That'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Bruins.
And again, right, the Socastee defense stays on the field longer. They're getting tireder. Justin Watts and the South Florence offense is on the field, and that's where they want to be. Socastee's got to have a defensive stop here, and this is the best chance they're going to get it with 3rd and 6 coming up here.
Is this South Florence? This ball control stuff? What's going on here?
I don't know. I don't know. You got me baffled here.
3rd and 6, passing situation for Watts. He's looking, he has time. Now he's flush from the pocket, and he will be sacked. A huge defensive play at that time by Socastee. Gary Gamble, number 63, the man that made it happen.
Justin just ran out of places to look that time. He was really searching the field frantically for a receiver, and Gary Gamble flushed him out and makes a sack. Good up front push that time by the South Florence line, number 70. There's Gerald Shepard, flushes him loose, and Gamble is just sitting right there and lassos him and ties him down to the ground, but it takes a few more Braves to finish him off. Watts is back to punt now.
The old coverage sack.
Exactly. Good coverage by the Socastee secondary.
Well, Falk and Patterson are back to receive this punt. Here's Falk at his own 25-yard line trying to shift his gears, and he's going to be tackled at the 25. So Socastee takes over now with 3:53 remaining in the third quarter. They trail by a touchdown.
Very much in this game. All it's going to take here is a nice little offensive ball control drive. The Socastee ground game has really been very negligible. We haven't seen any type of option. They run a little bit of a single wing. They'll bring some of their wide receivers in tight to play a little slot back and run a little scissors, a little trap play, a little sweep. We really haven't seen any running a game at all from Socastee. It's been mostly all pass.
Trips left now for Socastee.
They got the numbers over here too. They really got some good
Holmes
numbers.
Draws them off. Yeah, they had a mismatch out here. 3 receivers and only 2 defenders.
So what South Florence was going to gamble on right then is they could get to Holmes before he could get rid of the ball to one of his receivers. And the way they were blitzing up front, the way Frankie McCollum and Prescott were dancing around up there, they were really going to go after him.
Good job by Holmes to get the free 5 yards as he draws the defense offside. So it'll be 1st and 5 now for Socastee. The ball is spotted at about the 29-yard line.
I've been in that position as a quarterback, and it's almost like his voice might have hut, and it might have drawn him off sides because he saw him coming.
That's right.
They're coming. I better get out of here.
Dewey Smalls jumping his way through the middle there. 5'5", 145-pounder. Number 30 is close to the first down. He'll be shy of about a yard, so to bring up 2nd and 1. They spot the ball at the 39-yard line.
Dewey's got good breakaway speed. We really haven't seen him. One of the things about this four receiver, 1-back offense, the pro style that Socastee's running is he's not going to highlight the back that much. But when Dewey gets in open field, he's a really exciting runner and makes things happen.
2nd and 1 for Holmes. To pass, surprising
Frankie.
call, and Frankie McCallum is there once again. I'm not sure why you're doing that on 2nd and 1. Maybe to waste a play, but maybe catch the defense off guard, but there was no fool in number 85.
Yeah, Mike Dees lined up, number 42 in the backfield, on a number 42 that Randy Sinclair wore last year. It's kind of reminiscent. Dees has got the size that Sinclair had, but Dees did not pick up that young man right there. Mike, when you're back there, got to pick up that linebacker on the blitz.
Well, they put themselves now in a 3rd and 7 position. Let's see what they do here. Trips left. Dewey Smalls, this lone setback behind Holmes, and they give it to Smalls on the delayed handoff, but a big defensive effort there by Prescott, Chapman, the 2 middle linebackers for South Flo, and they closed the gap in a hurry.
Yeah, Eric did a great job that time. He took on the tackle, man on man, and you'll see him just stand this play up, comes in and blows by the trap block by Marcus Johnson, the left guard for Socastee. And Marcus is 5'11", 222 pounds, sophomore. He blew past the rookie on that and made the big play, but did Eric Prescott.
Well, once again, the Socastee offense sputters. They are forced to punt. Billy Jones lets her fly. And no call. They're just going to let this thing roll, and it'll be down at the 32-yard line of South Florence, and that's where they will take over with 1:17 remaining in the third quarter, a punt of 38 yards. So we've gone from a very impressive offensive output in the first half to a punt fest here in the second half.
Yeah, we kind of led everybody to believe we were going to score a lot of points tonight, and Lord, if I could do it, I'd be out there helping them. But looks like the offenses have really just not been able to put things together, because neither one of these defensive teams are really putting together a strong effort. But for South Florence, they're getting good pressure on Holmes, and he's not going to be able to set up and throw in the pocket with McCollum and Prescott coming after him like they are.
Well, here's Watts under pressure, scrambling now. He's going to have to run it, and does so. Gets to the 39-yard line, and another nice gain. So it looks like he's going to get sacked, possibly. He comes up with a gain of 7-8 yards.
That was a nice little tiptoe through the tulips on that one. He's really picking his spot. And again, the Socastee secondary is really starting to step up here. Their man coverage and zone coverage back in the secondary is doing the job, because Justin's not finding his receivers quickly. and sometimes not at all.
97 yards on the ground so far for Justin Watts, the leading ground gainer tonight. And he tries to draw the defense off, and he draws his own player off. Darren Cooper comes flying forward, so that'll be 5 against the boys in blue. 12 seconds remaining before halftime. 14-7. South Flo leading Socastee.
South Florence should not become complacent, because, I mean, all it takes is one big play to turn this game around. They need to, strap up their chin straps and get to work here, because they've still got a lot of work to do. The Socastee defense is proving stingy enough just to, stay in their way and keep them from sustaining any type of drive, and that's going to be into the quarter right there.
Socastee has a couple of interceptions, a couple of missed opportunities. They're only a touchdown away from tying this thing up. As we move to the fourth quarter, South Florence leading Socastee 14-7. We'll be back at Memorial Stadium right after this.
Once-a-thon is here again. Yep, Toyota's Once-a-thon, the clearance event of the year that only happens once a year. Toyota dealers all over have stocked up and they're ready to deal, so don't miss your once-a-year chance to save like this. Toyota's all-new Tacoma truck, where combined savings could save you over $2,800 when you buy. And you can save on the big T100 with combined savings over $2,200. The Once-a-thon. See your Toyota dealer for savings above all the rest now.
Wood siding's very pretty while it lasts, but before long, wood siding starts to deteriorate. Your paint may start peeling or cracking, or your wood siding could rot due to moisture damage, and you'll still have to repaint every few years. So take the easy and inexpensive approach. Top quality Alcoa vinyl siding, just $59 per month if you call Southern Siding and Supply now. Your home will look better, the resale value will go up, it'll be easy to maintain. Less than $59 per month, no money down, no payments for 6 months for qualified buyers. Ask about CertainTeed replacement windows, because right now, you can buy 10 top quality CertainTeed replacement windows for less than $59 per month. Save money on replacement windows and save up to 33% on your electric bill. Alcoa siding, $59 per month. CertainTeed replacement windows, $59 per month. That's 40 to 50% less than our competitors, and qualified buyers make no payments for 6 months. Southern Siding and Supply guarantees professional installation on both siding and windows. Call 763-4944 now for a free, no obligation estimate, and find out how you can win $5,000 worth of home improvements.
This is WWMB TV 21, Florence, Myrtle Beach.
We are ready to begin the fourth quarter. South Florence with the football, 14-7 is our score. First play of the fourth, out of the shotgun. Watts keeping it rolling right, throws, hits Titus Thomas, but another drop ball.
Boy, this play Justin came away from center, bobbling the ball. Got a nice roll out, caught the secondary for Socastee in a zone coverage, and all Titus Thomas did was just roll into the middle of that zone, and the 5'10", 185-pound senior just couldn't quite catch the handle on that.
Boy,
that was right there.
And right after that play, Watts had a beeline towards him, went right to him and slapped him on the butt and said, "You got to make that catch." I wouldn't be surprised if he goes right back to him here on this third down play now.
Well,
third and 8.
He's got man coverage at the bottom of the screen against Sean Patterson. Sean's giving him a good cushion.
Young and Cooper between Watts. There's a good look at the man, number 6. Drops back, time to throw, goes to Titus Thomas. He fell down, though. Had enough for the first down. He just fell down, and something I used to do when I played quarterback, when a guy drops the ball, you throw it right back to him because you know he's not going to drop 2 in a row. You just know he's not going to drop 2 in a row, and he just slipped down.
Yeah, Justin read the same thing we read. Yep. Patterson backed off, gave him the 10-yard out. He took it, and just as he came out of his cut, he just lost his footing right over there on the sidelines.
Not to mention Patterson's only 5'7", too, so Titus has some height over him. So another punt coming up here. Watts drops back, no rush at all. And he sends off a boomer.
Nice one.
Fair catch is made by Falk at the 22-yard line. So Socastee once again will have another shot. We're just underway here in the fourth quarter. A punt of 44 yards from Justin Watts. And stagnant offenses so far here in the second half, unable to generate anything. And I'm not sure if it's a case of the offenses. There's a tongue lashing there by Justin Watts to his teammate Titus Thomas, and you got to have a leader out there, and you got to have someone to take charge. You can't just say, "Oh, it's okay." You gotta So you got to make those plays.
Well, Titus more than anybody knows that he should have made those plays, and Justin's just there to remind, you know, Justin's like a coach on the field. He knows this offense up and down, knows everybody's responsibilities, and when somebody runs the wrong route or doesn't quite come up with the play, he knows it. And here's a good look at Darren Holmes. This is the screen, the Lucas screen. Two outside receivers are running off, and Lucas is just going to come right back in behind them. It's been a good play for Socastee. Let's see if Socastee concentrates and does the few plays that they've run well tonight and run them consistently here and try to establish a little bit of a drive.
Second down, they come back with that play across the middle. Nice pass to Terrell Mazik. That thing has been working all night, and it almost sprung there.
That's as a defender, you're out on an island. You're sitting out there, and Mazik knows exactly where he's going. You've almost got to anticipate where the ball is going. That time, the secondary coverage, that time for South Florence was held by number 22, David James. He's a junior defensive back, and he was really mismatched that time, Holmes to Mazik.
Mazik and Green have certainly shown they have some speed for Socastee. First down for the Braves at the 40. The handoff is to Dewey Smalls, and they ought to just keep throwing the football because the running game has just been nil.
Jeremy Smith and also number 71 in there, Neon Ham, is playing a little defensive tackle. Neon's a 5'10", 178-pound sophomore in on the tackle that time, and kept Smalls from going anywhere.
So tough when you're a coach to keep calling those pass plays. You so want to get that running game going.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to run to set the pass up.
Exactly.
And Socastee really had no success at all on the ground.
2nd and 9, they're throwing again, and that ball is well over the head of Falk. Brooke Falk never had a chance at it. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation once again for Socastee. Let's see what they can do here. They most certainly don't want to punt the ball away here, Lane. 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
That's a ball that Holmes has got to get to Falk quickly. And you can't fly that one up and hope he catches it on the sidelines. He's trying to get outside around the defense as quick as possible. But the quicker you can get it in Falk's hands, the quicker he can get upfield. When you hang it out there like Holmes did on that one, there's no way that play is going to be successful.
You got to believe that Socastee has certainly dodged some bullets here with their play, and to give Justin Watts another shot at it is not helping your cause at all. 3rd and 9. The pass is incomplete to Green. Another drop ball. So Socastee will be forced to punt. You get that feeling where had it not been for a couple of penalties, couple drop balls, the South Florence offense would be marching up and down the field. So let's see what Watts can do here, leading by a touchdown.
Holmes is delivering the ball. Unfortunately, he may not get the chance to help his team anymore. Let's see if Frankie's in there. Frankie, get on that end, and I want you to sprint 5 yards in front of where Billy Jones is standing right now and just lay out, baby.
He's been close all night.
No, he's not going to do it. He's laying back. He's laying back.
Oh, and a high snap.
High snap.
Oh, and that's almost blocked. And roughing the kicker. So don't worry about what happens downfield here. It is roughing the kicker on Neon Ham.
Neon didn't really rough him. He kind of just bumped into him.
Running into it's still going to draw out the penalty. And hey, a pretty good acting award here, too.
Yeah, Billy Jones goes about 250. Neon's 178. He crushed me.
Do we give him the Emmy?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everybody at the Academy for this award. BJ, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Whatever it takes.
That's right, whatever it takes. It's going to take 15 right now. It's going to set Socastee up, setting shop inside South Florence's territory. They haven't been there in a while, and this may be the momentum that Socastee needs to get things going. Let's see if we can get this passing game going a little north-south instead of east-west. They're trying to stretch South Florence out. Let's see if you can get some of your receivers up in those soft creases and do some damage north-south on South Florence.
I'll tell you something. That could be a turning point play if we look back at this game. I mean, look, they're setting up shop now at the 44-yard line is Socastee. They've got a second life here in the 4th quarter. Here's Holmes looking deep, going deep, and he overthrows the intended receiver, Mazik. But not a bad idea.
Yeah, good coverage by Brandon Perkins, the 5'10 sophomore. I think I questioned the route run by Mazik. He had single coverage, and he took an inside route, whereas if he'd have faded that one out to the corner, that was where Holmes threw the ball. So it's kind of like Mazik broke off of his route, and Holmes hung it out to dry up there on the outside.
So Socastee catches a big-time break here. Running into the punter is the call, and Neon Ham certainly beside himself on the South Florence sidelines, especially if Socastee can get something going here. 2nd and 10.
Big series now for the Socastee offensive line. They've got to protect Holmes.
Holmes swinging it out once again. He just can't connect with
I don't like that.
Falk.
I don't like that play. I don't like that play at all.
It just has no potential.
It hangs Brook out to dry, and he's one-on-one out there. He's got to make a move to get upfield because it's the South Florence secondary is right there. It leaves him open to a play just like that. And Brandon Perkins said, hey, it's a free shot, baby, and he took it.
Boy, you lick your chops when you're a defensive back and you see that kind of play.
And they've run that play 3 or 4 times tonight, and they've done nothing with it.
Nope. Well, we've got a break on the field. We will take a timeout here with 9:37 remaining. Florence still leading Socastee by a touchdown.
Homeowners, are you tired of your roof leaking, being too hot? Then call Future Resources at 1-800-31-ROOFs. Future Resources will install a layer of rigid foil-faced insulation board over your current roof and cover the insulation with a one-piece white single-ply roof membrane made with DuPont Alloy Key that will reflect 87% of the sun's heat-producing rays, providing immediate savings up to 60% on air conditioning bills while keeping you much cooler inside. Call Future Resources at 1-800-31-ROOFs and get a 100% maintenance-free roof, a lifetime 100% manufacturer's guarantee not to leak, discolor, or mildew. While we cannot control the outside temperature, you can control the inside temperature and stop all leaks by installing a roof-over system from Future Resources. Call Future Resources today at 1-800-31-ROOFs and ask about the hot summer special with a lifetime warranty. Call 1-800-31-ROOFs now and save. 100% financing available, local references available.
This is WWMB TV 21, Florence, Myrtle Beach.
Set to play, 3rd and 10 now, Socastee.
Big play for the Braves.
Smalls behind Holmes, and here's Holmes rolling right, looking, firing, connects with Green. First down.
Big clutch play that time by Darren Holmes. He gets nice protection from the inside. Lanier, Warden, Johnson, and his offensive backs pick up the rush by the South Florence Bruins, and he delivers a wobbly ball. Lucas is there, and he makes the catch. Attaboy, number 4.
Great catch by Lucas, gain of 14 yards. Huge play for Socastee is there. Deep inside South Florence territory now, 30-yard line, and they are in business. 9:18 and running here in the 4th quarter.
Big challenge now for the South Flow defense.
Handoff goes to Smalls, and Dewey Smalls blasting his way past the 25, stacked up around the 22-yard line.
Perfect example there of the passing game setting up the run. South Florence on their heels now after the big 3rd down completion. Sets up a nice 1st down run for 8 yards. Now Socastee's in good shape. They can go deep into their playbook, maybe try something that worked in the first couple quarters.
2nd and 3, a nice position you want to be in offensively. A lot of options here now for Socastee. Let's see what they can come up with. Receivers, 2 of them to each side.
Ooh.
Oh, they hand it to Smalls, who breaks a tackle from McCallum initially. Flag on the play, gets back to the line of scrimmage, but let's check out the infraction here.
Another South Florence Bruin, and then number 25 in there, Dwayne Myers, junior linebacker, gets in on the play. It's going to be for naught as Socastee's going to be nailed for procedure here.
Once again, McCallum in the back.
McCallum misses the tackle. Chapman closes. A lot of bodies in there by South Florence getting in on that play. Prescott's and McCullum are looking over to the sidelines to find out what type of direction they want to take on this. They're going to take I think they have to take the penalty.
Yeah.
They're going to back them up 5 yards. It's going to make it 2nd now and 7.
It's been the problem with Socastee, it seems like all night with that running game, is holding their blocks. Just the quickness of McCallum and company are shedding the blockers so quickly, and they're in the backfield by the time they're able to make a good run. That last run prior to that penalty was probably the best run of the night so far for Socastee. Timeout on the field once again. Timeout for Socastee.
A lot of confusion at time on the Socastee offensive side of the ball. Number 44, John Acker, was in there at a tight end position, and he never even went down into his stance before he was coming up and asking questions. And Darren said, hey, wait a second, nah, let's take the TO.
Yeah, if you're not sure, this is the time to take the timeout, because this might be the Braves' last shot. You never know. With 8:15 remaining, if South Florence gets that ball back, you may not see it again.
That's right, because Justin does a great job of controlling the ball. There's a good look into the defensive huddle. Chapman, McCullum, Connor, all the fellows who make that South Florence defense. Damian Sims, there's a little freshman right there in the middle of your screen, a 5'9", 175-pound freshman who's done a great job at the defensive down lineman position. And there's Steve Duggan in there, All-American at Furman, the offensive coordinator for Socastee in there trying to rev up his troops. Guys always needs a couple big plays here, and this thing's right back in our lap. You know, you guys just got to rise to the occasion and make a big play. Who wants it bad? Who wants it bad enough?
You know, the Socastee offense averages 250 yards a game, so they can certainly generate the yardage when they have to. Second down play now. The handoff is to Smalls. Hitting the backfield once again. He only gains a couple on the play, so that'll bring up 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5.
Chris Chapman drove John Acker 4 yards back into the backfield on that play from the tight end position. Chapman from playing defensive end, a linebacker on the outside, just completely manhandled Acker on that play and got into the backfield and broke it up from the get-go.
Another big 3rd down play for the Braves now. Let's see what they can come up with. Falk and Green spread to the left side. Terrell Mazik to the right side. Smalls is behind Holmes.
Somebody better pick up Frankie.
Here's Holmes looking left. Fires across the middle. Great catch by Falk. That's going to be a first down for Socastee inside the 15-yard line. Another huge 3rd down conversion by the Braves.
Well, I like the way this kid delivers the ball in the clutch, boy. Two big 3rd downs in a row. Kind of sidearms it underneath the diving linebacker. Brooke Falk makes the catch. When the ball's there, you got to make the catch, and Brooke does it.
Great grab by Brooke Falk, the senior, 6 foot, 175-pounder. And once again, Darren Holmes showing that strong arm, zinging it across the middle. First down for Socastee, ball at the 15-yard line of South Florence. Here's Holmes, the handoff to Smalls. He's got some running room around the right side. Can't shake free from number 26 for South Florence, who comes up from his cornerback position, Damian Sims. But a nice gain that time for Dewey Smalls. Gets 5 on the play, 2nd and 5 now.
Nice block that time by number 60. Yes, Marcus Johnson with the sophomore with a little squash block there. And there you see a little bit of the open field elusiveness of Smalls, although he can't get away from Damian Sims.
He's had a couple nice runs on this series. Other than that, the Socastee running game really hasn't done anything tonight. 2nd and 5 though now from the 10-yard line. Holmes, the quick pass. Zings it out there to Falk, who makes the catch but doesn't gain any yards. It looked like that play had a chance to start with, but all of a sudden the defense was right there. And Will Floyd, number 73, in on the play, as was, I think, Brandon Perkins.
Strictly a timing route. What they're trying to do is get the ball to Brooks so he can get around that corner. But unfortunately for him, number 22, David James, had the good angle and made the good outside pursuit and a nice open field tackle to take Falk down for probably negligible gain, maybe a yard on the play.
LG, what do you know? Another 3rd down play for Socastee, but they've been pretty efficient at it here tonight. 3rd and 5. Big play here for the Braves once again.
Look for Mazik
trying to draw
middle.
the offense off, and he draws his own man.
Acker comes up, hasn't played a lot of minutes tonight, and has really hurt Socastee in this last drive.
That's tough. That's a tough play when you're trying to draw that defense off and your old man jumps.
You're going to call offsides on the defense. I think contact
he was
made.
in the neutral zone. Yeah.
Contact was made possibly before Acker came up out of his crouch, because there was some activity right there over top of the ball.
So Mr. Acker right now is going, oh,
yeah. I told you, Lane Harris. I didn't come up too early.
Yeah. Well, that's a big play. You get the first down by a penalty. That's the best way to do it. 1st and goal now for Socastee. Ball at the 5-yard line of South Florence.
Red zone now for Socastee. Let's see how they can play. The South Florence defense is going to flatten out and squash out man-to-man coverage, and the South Florence stands are coming alive.
And there's
I hate that
play.
God, why? They must know something that I don't against that defense down there, because Brooke Falk has run that play 6 times, has not been open yet, and Holmes has not been able to deliver the ball to him in a manner that would even suggest that he's going to get positive yardage out of that play.
Well, you've had a couple nice runs from Dewey Smalls. Why not give him the shot on first down? Then if you can't get it in, then go to the air. But I agree with you. That play's just got to be ripped out of the playbook and thrown in the trash, because it just has
all right,
not
now tell me
worked.
something. Why is the ball placed at the 9-yard line now?
That is a good point.
Why is the ball at the 9-yard line?
They call that a lateral, is right.
Okay.
Well, here's Holmes. Now he hands it off to Dewey Smalls, who's got some running room and close to the touchdown. No signal yet.
He's on the 1.
He is
call,
very,
TG.
very close.
Good call, T-Man. That was a nice one. Give it to the small man.
You know, he had a couple great runs in the series before, and They ran him to the right side. It's the first time he's really gone to the left side and almost gets a score.
And that's the first time he's had that much open field to run with all night.
He probably didn't know what to think, seeing all that real estate in front of him.
Now, see, Socastee's gone to this one-back set because they don't have a fullback, and here's where it really hurts him in this situation.
3rd and 1 for Socastee. Holmes keeps it himself, and he's in there.
All right, big
Socastee pulls within a point, 14-13. Let's see if they go for 2.
That's the big call here. You know, got Randy Gold sitting over there on the sidelines. It's going to be very difficult for him to get a chance to get this ball back. And he knows Justin's going to do a good job of holding on to it and eating clock. So he needs to make a decision here. Do we kick the extra point? We lost our kicker during all this revolt that's happened on the team. So he's going to take a timeout, kind of regather himself. He does have some good kickers over there, but as we saw in their first extra point attempt, not real steady, not real consistent. And you don't want to take a chance of blowing a kick here and losing the game by a point.
There's a look at Blake Brown, number 8. He's got the tee out there, and he's going to be the holder, which is so very important. And the kicker is going to be number 35, Jim DeFeo.
There he is right in the center of the screen. He's
practicing up. It's going to be the kick of his season here, the junior 5'8", 130-pounder.
I don't know if they're going to kick it. No, DeFeo's coming right back out. They're going for 2.
They're going for the win. Why not? 2-2. First region game. You can send a message to the rest of the region. I mean, you got a chance to win the ball game. 5 minutes left. Plenty of time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Plenty of time for Mr. Watts. But here we go. See what Holmes has in store for South Florence.
They're going with the double tight end set. Single back. 3 wide outs.
You've got Falk and Green spread to the left side.
Excuse me, only 1 tight end. Acker's the only tight end in there.
Falk and Green to the left side, Mazik to the right side. Smalls behind Darren Holmes. Holmes gives it to Smalls. He's in there. Socastee takes the lead. 15-14, Braves on top with 5:01 to play. What an incredible drive by the Socastee Braves. They suck it up. They get a big break from a roughing the kicker penalty. They go 16 plays, get the touchdown, and a gutsy call by Coach Randy Gold. Goes for 2. When you're a first-year coach, I guess first impressions are the most important, and you want to make that first impression, and his team takes the lead.
He's coming to Region 5-4A, and he's made his case right now. I said, when I get a chance to win a ball game, I'm going to win it. Right. And he did that by taking Smalls off the outside of the right-hand tackle. McCullum and Prescott were coming up the middle on a blitz. He bounced them outside. Great play call, because he knew South Florence was going to blitz, going to take away the middle. And I was really surprised to see him run the ball, but Dewey made a nice cut outside, and there's Randy Gold.
I love that call. I really do. I think you run the football. You don't chance throwing the football down there. And you see what you can do, especially let's give Dewey Smalls a big hand. He really did his part in that drive.
Look who's back to receive the kick.
Oh, it's Justin Watts receiving the kickoff here for South Florence. And he's swarmed over. Eric Johnson and a couple other defenders in on the play there for Socastee. 4:55 to play now. Plenty of time for Justin Watts. They're going to set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Cooper's a little shaken up on the play. He's going to come out. 16 plays, 78 yards, 6 minutes and 41 seconds. That is a drive. The touchdown run by the quarterback Holmes, and then the 2-point conversion, and of course that pivotal penalty on that roughing play.
I'd like to thank everyone at the academy. But it worked.
Well, here we go. Shotgun formation. Justin Watts. Receivers to the right side, fakes it up the middle, keeps it himself, and gets crushed.
Bad Brad Harris.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, Gary Gamble also in on the play, and he was just smushed.
We haven't called Brad Harris's name. Last week in the Georgetown game, he delivered what the radio announcers called the most vicious hit of the year late in that Georgetown game. This is a kid that does a great job of supporting run defense and likes to come up and stop, and something he hasn't had the ability to do because of South Florence's non-traditional type of running game.
Watts got 2 yards on the play. He's got 98 on the ground so far tonight. 2nd and 8 now. Watts out of the gun once again. Looking left. He's got Young and Muldrow there, but he's going to be taken down. It's Mr. Gamble once again. Gary Gamble with back-to-back defensive plays for Socastee, and South Florence has got themselves in a hole. We're looking at 3rd and 12.
There's a young player with the Braves' future written all over him. 6'1", 220 pounds. Watch this hand strike. He stays in front of his blocker, keeps and contains Justin Watts. Just what the Socastee coaches have been preaching all week.
That was a great look at it, too. Good job by the guys down on the field. 3rd down and 12. Here's Watts firing out to the left side. Muldrow makes the catch, but it's well short of the first down. Clock continues to tick. 3:24 now remaining in the game.
It's 4-down territory for South Florence. They're not going to punt it away yet.
Got to go for it.
It's going to be 4th and 5, a good long 5 yards. Watts is going to check it off and call a play at the line of scrimmage.
Clock continues to tick down. 3:04 remaining.
Got some good numbers at the bottom of the screen.
They show blitz and then lay off. The pass is complete. Johnny Muldrow makes the catch at the 35-yard line. 1st down. There was some discrepancy there as to whether he had possession of the ball or not, or whether he was juggling, but he had it, went down. It's a 1st down.
Your receivers really have to know where the sticks are on that kind of a play. You can't come up short on a play like that. Last year for Socastee, when you needed 5 yards, they gave it to Randy Sinclair. Justin Watts knows how to get 5 right now. Quick out pattern.
They keep the drive alive. 2:48 now remaining in the game. South Florence down by a single point, 15-14. Here's Watts under pressure, fires.
Ooh.
The ball is nearly caught. Would have been a nice catch by Titus Thomas. He had to go down, but a good delivery by Justin Watts. He had a defender right in his face.
Well, Jeff Doster again, boy, he's coming hard on those strong safety blitzes, and Watts just steps up, and Doster's pressure made that ball illy thrown.
We've seen that. We've seen a lot of that tonight in key situations for Socastee. The two interceptions was because of pressure. You got to get pressure on Justin Watson. They've been able to do it at key points of this ball game. 2:40 remaining now. 2nd down. Here's Watts. Eludes the pressure this time. He's going to keep it. No, he pulls up and throws deep. He's got a man. Oh, and it's dropped. Johnny Muldrow had the ball and dropped it. That has to be about the 5th drop pass we've seen here tonight at Memorial Stadium. And Justin Watts has got to be beside himself. What an individual effort here, avoiding the rush and then letting her fly.
Good duck under that time by Brad Harris, and he gets the Socastee secondary, and linebackers coming up thinking he's going to run, and Muldrow slips behind Lucas Green, just pops off his hip. Got to catch him, babe. Got to catch him.
Here's a telling stat for you. Justin Watts only 2 for 7 in the 2nd half. That's just amazing. Here he is out of the gun. This is 3rd down now. Another heavy rush. Lets her fly. Caught by Kalik Young. He avoids the defender. Kalik Young's on the loose. He's down to the 45-yard line. And that's where he's tackled with 2:18 remaining in the game. Man, once you think this kid is down, he just keeps coming right at you.
Good up front pressure by the Socastee front 4. Flushes him out of the pocket. There you see Billy Jones all over him. But God, look how open Kalik Young is. He really breaks free in the secondary.
Just a simple 30-yard gain, that's all, with the game on the line. Nice connection, 6-7. 2:14 and counting. South Flo trailing 15-14. Watts again. This time it's incomplete. Once again going for Young.
Got to be real careful that time, Justin. Threw that ball behind Kalik Young. Could have easily been picked off. So you really need to make your passes. We saw this last year in last year's Socastee game so many times when they got down the red zone. Justin's so good about throwing the ball where nobody can catch it but his receiver. That time the pass was a little bit behind Young.
You can tell he just loves this stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
He loves this 2-minute stuff.
He practices it every week, and
eating it up.
He and his dad really get into this stuff.
Here's Watts going across the middle. Thomas had the ball, dropped it. No flag on the play. Good defense that time. That was just nice timing, and I'm glad to see the referee doesn't throw the laundry on that.
Yeah, that time number 24, and I think it was Kalik Young that time, kind of converge, and they're both in the same area, and that allows number 8, Blake Brown, to come in and just tear Thomas away from the ball.
Yep. There's no way he was going to let Thomas make that catch. Nice defense that time. 2:01 remaining in the game. It is a 1-point Socastee lead. Here's Watts going deep. Overthrowing his receiver, and it is picked off. Sean Patterson, and Patterson's got some running room up the right sideline, and he is knocked out of bounds, and that may have sealed the fate here for the Bruins. 3rd interception on the night for Justin Watts.
2nd by Patterson. Nice night for this young man. Keep your hat on, son. We knew it was you. What I don't like about this play, Terry, Johnny Muldrow gives up on it. After the ball is intercepted by Patterson, Muldrow tucks his head and runs away from the play and gets his clock cleaned. That's how you get hurt standing around when the play's on. Nice upfield blocking that time by the Socastee Braves. Only the hustle by number 62, Stephen Putnam, takes Patterson out of bounds.
Well, I got to take my hat off to this Socastee team. I tell you, their back has been up against the wall, it seems like, the entire game. South Florence takes a quick timeout here. They're going to try to get the ball back, 1:41 remaining. But time and time again, they've come up big when they've had to. You can maybe count them on one hand, they're big plays, but they've come at the right time.
And they didn't go away. The defense was a thorn in this man's side. They didn't overpower him. Last year they blitzed the heck out of Justin Watson. They put him on his backside 6 times in the backfield. They physically beat him up. They had the athletes to do that last year. This year they don't. Socastee's not as fast as they were last year. They don't have the talent, near the talent level they have on defense, but these guys have done a good job of staying within the game plan. And as we saw in the last play, Gary Gamble containing Justin Watts, keeping him in the pocket. They're obviously learning something from this effort. Yep. This is going to be a great little star in their hat if they can come away with the win here against a very proven South Florence team.
I think this would be an absolutely huge win for Socastee. Remember, South Florence is ranked 5th in the coaches poll, getting a lot of respect from everybody. Their defense is just amazing, led by Frankie McCallum, and of course we all know about Watts, and this would be just a huge feather in the cap for Socastee if they could pull it off. 1:40 remaining in the game. The handoff is up the middle to Smalls, and he is just buried. They're going to call another quick timeout. South Florence to stop the clock. 1:34. It's going to be 3rd down.
Got to carry it with 2 hands, baby. You don't want to go in there with anything less than 2 hands because, you know, South Florence is going to be tackling the ball. They're going to use up their timeout, so they have a 3rd timeout that they can stop the clock again. I'm not sure if they do.
Lee Calcutt comes off the field. He's injured a little bit on the play. I don't know if it's a hand or a shoulder. Seems to be holding something on his right side, but 1:34 remaining now. Socastee clinging to a 1-point lead. It'll be 3rd and 7 now as the coaches come out onto the field. Time is stopped.
Nice little baptism into Region 5-4A play for Coach Randy Gold and his staff, and the maybe 100, 150 folks that made the drive up from Socastee to see the game of the week. For those of you in Socastee that stayed at home, shame on you. You should have been here supporting your team because they needed your help.
Well, we like you watching, too.
Of course we do. Of course we do.
Now, I know you're
That's
saying
what we got VCRs for.
Exactly.
Come see the game, roll the tape at home. That's what I'm doing.
Yep.
And go watch it when you get back home and see if you see yourself on TV, because what we're seeing now is an excellent effort by a very young and gamey Socastee team.
Well, Socastee can get the 1st down here. It'll basically seal the deal for themselves here with 1:34 remaining. It is 3rd and 7. You don't put the ball in the air, I wouldn't imagine, here. But we've seen some strange things coming from both sides here, so we'll see what they have in store. There's a penalty on the play. Illegal participant is the call.
Yeah, John Acker came in after the play was blown, came all the way across the field, and they're going to back him up 5 yards and stop the clock. But what they'll probably end up doing if South Florence doesn't have another timeout is run this play, try to eat up as much clock as possible, maybe even take a delay penalty to eat up as much clock as possible, because, boy, you don't want Justin Watts having that ball with any time at all, if possible.
Well, they're going trips left here. Certainly looking like they're going to throw the football, but Smalls is lined up behind Darren Holmes. Here's Holmes to throw. He's rolling left. Dangerous play. They throw it out to Falk, who makes the catch.
Stay in bounds. He went out of bounds.
Short of the 1st down. He went out of bounds. He stopped the clock. He did exactly what South Florence wanted him to do. 1:24 to go, and Socastee's going to have to throw the football. I'm just surprised that you throw the ball there.
Boy, you need to take a right-hand turn there, Brooke, and stay in bounds.
I think you need to run the ball. You need to run the ball, keep the clock going, and then punt it away.
Well, Justin Watts is going to get the ball with about 1:10, 15 seconds. Unless Billy Jones can get off a huge punt, he's only going to have to go about 70 yards.
Well, they're coming after it. They've got no one back deep to receive this punt, so they're going to put all kinds of pressure on Billy Jones. They've been close all night. Look out!
Oh,
nearly blocked
by Justin Watts.
Oh, he gets off a beauty, though. What a great time to come up with a big old punt.
Justin Watts almost blocked that punt.
He's all over the place. Billy Jones puts a boot into it, though. He gets it down inside the 15-yard line. It's spotted at the 12.
So number 6 just gets up off his belly after doing a belly flop on front and trying to block that punt. He's going to step up, walk back into the shotgun, call a play, and try to take his team over 80 yards
Billy Jones, 9th in the state punting. What a time to come up with a 45-yard boot. Here's the situation, 1:14 remaining for South Florence and Justin Watts, who trail 15-14. Here's Watts. Watts looking deep, he lets her fly. Muldrow almost comes up with a great circus catch, but he is hit immediately by Green.
Lucas Green came over from the free safety position. Now we're going to see Socastee in the nickel package. You see Green sitting back there in center field. As soon as he sees the ball hung up, he goes for meat and takes Muldrow completely out of the play.
Johnny getting some air underneath him that time.
Yeah, got to get high.
2nd and 10 now, 1:02 remaining. Titus Thomas is left. And he's going for Titus Thomas. Thomas is underneath it and is picked off once again by Sean Patterson. This time Patterson's got a lot of running room, and he's going to bring it out of bounds at the 13-yard line, and that will do it. So Socastee defense coming up big when they have to. Another interception by Sean Patterson. This young man has had himself a night. 5 turnovers now for South Florence. And what a tremendous effort here by this Socastee defense. Socastee has given up a lot of points this year. They lost to Myrtle Beach 30-7. They lost to Lake City 41-20. Giving up some points. They also have a couple shutouts this year, but they come up big when they have to. And they come up big tonight. A little bit of justice here for Socastee, as they lost back-to-back heartbreakers to South Florence last year and the year before that. Great effort turned in by number 34 for Socastee. Brad Harris, the leading tackler, 3rd in the state in tackles, by the way. 61 tackles this year. He is certainly the team leader defensively for Socastee. And he's kept his defense together, and they've done the job here. Huge win for the Socastee Braves. All they have to do is kill the clock now. And Holmes goes down to a knee. 48 seconds, and the clock continues to tick away. South Florence takes its final timeout. Couple more snaps of the football, and this one will be in the books. A very, very big effort and a total team effort by the Socastee Braves from every aspect of this ball game, defensively, offensively, and of course, we can't forget that big penalty. At roughing the kicker penalty, we thought it could be the turning point of the game. It turns out to be exactly that, and that was in the midst of a 16-play drive that resulted in a go-ahead touchdown for Socastee. Actually, the touchdown that pulled them within 1, and then, of course, the 2-point conversion. Smalls running it in, and Mike Watts is a little bit upset, no doubt, tonight by the effort put in by his team, but a nicely played ball game from both clubs tonight. Socastee was just there when they had to be. 46 seconds now. Holmes goes down to another knee, and that clock should just continue to click down as one more snap should do it. So South Florence, 3-1, will now drop to 3-2, and Socastee will up its mark to 3-2. It'll be interesting to see if the coaches will put Socastee back into the top 10, the TV 15 top 10, knocking off the 5th-ranked team, South Florence. Next week, of course, South Florence with a very, very tough ball game at Conway, and it doesn't get any easier for Socastee either, as they take on top-ranked Dillon at home. So a huge win for first-year head coach Randy Gold. They start to feel it on the sidelines, and maybe a small little smile there from Randy Gold, and he gets dunked with the Gatorade. And I'm sure that feels nice. Then there's a smile from Mr. Gold. Assistant at South Carolina, longtime assistant at Sumter, taking over here first year, and that's a happy bunch of kids and a happy coaching staff right now, and you got to take your hat off to them. They did a heck of a job here as Socastee comes up with an upset. They come on up to Florence, and they knock off the 5th-ranked Bruins of South Florence, beating them on their homecoming night. Final score, 15-14. We'll be back at Memorial Stadium to wrap this one up with post-game interviews right after this.
You
can take the shortest way home, or you can go like this and do a few hundred things on the way. No wonder you're thirsty.
I'm John Walsh, host of America's Most Wanted, Final Justice. For 8 years, America's Most Wanted has helped apprehend hundreds of dangerous criminals, including an escaped murderer from Florence. Final Justice goes further. We'll bring you up to date on existing searches, show justice being served to captured criminals.
America's Most Wanted, Final Justice, 7 p.m. weeknights on TV 21.
Crime doesn't pay.
Take a ride on the toughest streets in America.
Another fun night in the city, huh, boys?
It appears to be gang-related.
Everybody get back up on the sidewalk!
And never forget what you're seeing is real.
Get out of the way! Here, I have 25 names of people that watched him beat him up.
Because you never know when it's going to really hit the fan.
Cops.
7:30 weeknights on TV 21.
Welcome back to Florence. Randy Gold, the victorious coach, is on the field right now with our own Lane Harris. Lane.
Randy Gold makes his way into Region 5 4A play with an opening conference win over South Florence. Coach, you got to be real proud of the way your defense played tonight.
I think it was a great defensive effort. We never quit. We never stopped. I think we did a pretty good job of containing and shutting down the number one quarterback in the state, as far as I'm concerned, as good as we could. And our defense played good. We had some guys make some big plays when we had to, and I'm just real proud and tickled the whole bunch. They did a great job tonight.
You've been with these kids for 2 months. You've already faced a lot of adversity. What does this win mean to you over all that adversity?
Well, I don't think we beat South Florence Socastee football team in 13 or 14 years, and open up with a region victory against a team that's very solid all the way around. It's going to be a big step in our program years down the line, headed in the right direction.
Coach, you got a big week next week. Got to head up to Dillon. What are your thoughts on that game?
I'm going to enjoy this one. I haven't seen Dillon on film, but I know their reputation. I'm just going to enjoy this win and go back and celebrate on the bus with these kids and the parents, and we'll look at Dillon tomorrow morning.
Randy Gold, congratulations. We'll see you down the road. Also with me tonight, our defensive, I think, MVP with 3 interceptions tonight, number 7, Sean Patterson. Sean, you seem to be in the right place at the right time several times tonight. What was it like going up against Justin Watts, having the pressure on you all night?
Well, it was a great honor playing against Justin Watts. He's a great quarterback, and my hat's off to him and the South Florence team. All week we've been doubted, really all season we've been doubted about our capabilities of playing a good football team and a great quarterback, and we had to come out here and prove something to our fans, our friends, and mostly to ourselves. We can't win games. It was tough, but we pulled it off.
Sean, go enjoy the win with your teammates. Thanks a lot. No more doubts for the Socastee defensively. The offense still a little shaky, but I think they'll come along as the year goes along under Randy Gold's direction. Terry, back up to you.
And a little justice tonight for the Socastee Braves, who have been beaten a couple heartbreaking losses here in the past by South Florence the past 2 years. They are the victor tonight here, 15-14, and we'd like to send out a big thanks to Subway of West Evans Street for providing the crew meal tonight. We ate it up, and it was very good, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate you for watching our Game of the Week. We will be with you live once again next Friday from a site to be determined. Until then, for Lane Harris, I'm Terry Gurn, and for everyone at WMB, thanks for watching the Game of the Week. Final once again, Socastee, a win over South Florence, 15-14.
Show.